To the Saints, it's the one and only, it's the big homie, your favorite YouTuber's favorite YouTuber. I'm back in action. Hey, check this out. They thought they were going to silence me. They try to shadow ban me. They try to demonetize me. They talk bad about me. The other YouTubers won't mess with me because I'm the truth. You heard me? But hey, this, I will not be silenced. I will keep going at you devils, huh? Yeah, and I'm going to do it in every format. You want to ban me from podcasting? I will do it in music. I'm going to release a reggae album. You dig? Yeah, and we talking about all these devils. I'm going to say the same things I said in the podcast in the music format, which is a lot harder to ban. Yes, because it's in creative context instead of talking. Huh? And my assistant said, hey, Marquett, they remonetized you. I was like, no, they didn't. No, they didn't. And more importantly, I don't care if they did. Because I'm not relying on these devils. They're the enemy. We're in the belly of the beast here. It's not a privileged place to be. It's not somewhere I want to be. Huh? Yeah. In fact, they did not remonetize me. It was a pump fake. She thought they did. I was like, but I don't care. Because the people who follow me of various ethnicities, races, religions, they follow me because they're the good, honest, honorable people of the earth, productive men and women. And they're going to rock with me regardless. I thank those of you who actually support my work. I thank those of you who respect the truth because I'm going to tell it at whatever cost. You dig? And everyone is going to pay. I promise you. If you're going against me, you're going to pay. If you don't mess with this ism, it's Sassin or nothing. If you ain't with the Sassin, you're nothing. You dig? So I want you guys to know. If there's anybody that I ever reach out to, collab with, anybody that in this YouTube space that doesn't mess with the ism, eventually they're going to have to lay down. I promise you. They're going to have to lay down. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about his work. If you have any comments, questions, Ty's tuition, you got some timestamps we need to look at, send below. You dig? As you guys know, I don't really go live that often nowadays. I make sure that I take care of my members. I have a new technology, pieceofthesaints.com. Very robust. It's a great tool to keep everyone connected, achieve their goals. So much built in. Log boss up if you haven't. We're going to get into this work. And shout out to those of you who have good taste. Your Marquett Marley is going up this year. You dig? Anyways, here we go. So I'm not actually previewed this. So I'm going to see this first with you all at the same time.
5150 in the house. Is this the first or the second show of the year?
Second.
Second show of the year. We jumping it on. Y'all already know what's up.
What my boy eating a goddamn Laffy Taffy right now?
I'm Corey Holcomb, eating these cherry sours I shouldn't be eating. This is Darlene or OG Ortiz, for people who don't know.
Thank you.
I don't know if baby needs to be wearing yellow when her skin is also yellow. I'm going to need some contrast. But shout out to that nice young lady with that pretty hair.
For that. Oh, my God. Not the full thing.
I was on time. I'm going to just say that.
Hey,
Yes,
we
sir.
expected it.
Okay, so when Anton states that he was on time, now that's a good thing. I encourage people to be on time. In fact, I encourage people to be early. It's proper business etiquette. I surmise that he's suggesting that Corey was not on time, I'm guessing. And if you are on time and it's a business affair, some people that bothers me. I must concede that bothers me. I don't like to do business when folks are not on time.
I already knew. That's why I got here almost on time.
I was on time.
My man.
And so we already see a major rift between the two personalities. Anton was on time. He proclaimed it. Corey was not on time for apparently his own show. And he also proclaimed it shamelessly. And so we see that, one is perhaps a more buttoned up business. One is more informal. And there's no doubt that we're looking at potentially a great clash of personalities. One has on the hoodie and the bucket hat. Another one has on the collared shirt and the snapback. So, yeah, this is has the makings of a nice little rumble here.
You dig what I'm saying? A lot of y'all know. We said he was coming. Anton in the house, Hey man, let me tell you something. I'm so glad you here
Is-
because people need to see a clash like this. Not a clash
agree.
within something bad, just people who got something to say, like what you say and what I say. I think it's gonna be interesting.
I do too.
Now, one thing I will say is I've seen both of their content before, and they both, present something meaningful in the online space. So I do want to put that out there. I am familiar with both of these gentlemen, and beyond the saying, the question for me is always like, what about the doing? You hear me? What are the actions, the activities, the organization, all of that? But let's get after it.
I think it's gonna be really interesting.
And we had a great conversation too. We had time before you got here, so we had a great
I
conversation.
buttered it up, so
You don't need to
That's what's
butter.
up.
I
You
made
don't need
sure
to butter
that I
me
made
up.
sure that she felt good about this.
Yeah, you don't need to butter.
We still trying to get Shannon Sharp on here, so Darlene can have something to do after the show that should be proud of.
Oh, brother. Too old. That man don't want this.
She ain't lying. Uncle Shannon trying to get him young and white.
I know.
Your
that,
chat think they tough. I noticed
They
that.
think they tough?
They think they tough.
Yeah. They be out there.
They not that tough.
That's one thing, and Anton has been the spotlight for some time. But for those who are new to the spotlight, or your come up, an important adjustment is being able to ignore people, especially folks in the chat. So often, these are people who are engaging in class warfare. These are people who have meaningless lives, and you might as well just ignore them. So I think it's quite curious that he's paying attention to that, especially with his background as a live streamer.
Oh,
We
you
seen
charging them up.
we seen
Uh-oh, here we
we
go.
seen
Yeah.
worse. I don't pay attention to niggas that don't got no profile picture.
You know what? I always hate
promise to
motherfuckers
God,
talk,
bro.
And they scared to step forward.
I don't pay attention. I think them type of niggas jerk off in their socks.
Yeah.
Well, now they've gotten so savvy where they can actually put a picture, but you open it up and it's like, oh, no post, no nothing. It's like,
Somebody
oh,
said-
okay.
We don't take that serious.
Exactly. Keyboard cowards is what I call them.
Somebody said what Craig had. He on time out. Craig had a show, fool.
That's right.
Craig, get to it, man. Let's get to it. There's so much to say. I got to ask you this, just off top.
I'm with it.
How do you feel? Because we ain't gonna do all politics, because that ain't.
All right, I'm with it.
What do you feel about this nation as they jack other nations for their resources and play it off like it's other reasons?
I
I'm
think
talking
that's a
about
part
this
of the
nation,
game.
U.S.
That's a part of the game.
When you say the part of the game, I don't understand. Do you think
Nah, bro, you understood that.
But everybody that
But you wanted an elaboration, which I get.
been conquered. Slavery didn't exist way before we ever came in here. So I don't see what the problem is.
Well, I tell you like this.
So this is one of those situations where both folks can be right. And what I mean is this. You have Anton, which is saying this is the way of the world. And what he really is pointing to is that this is the way of the white ruling class, which is steal other people's stuff and make lies about it for the masses. But he's not making a moral judgment, whereas Corey is wanting Anton to make a moral judgment, particularly coming from a foundational Black American identity. And it is the failing of, not failing, but the decision to not make a moral judgment on this that is what is inflaming Corey. And I really shouldn't say inflaming. That'd be exaggeration. He doesn't seem like he's terribly bothered by it. In fact, I think he anticipated Anton's difference, and he's immediately creating this contrast, which is appropriate for this kind of format. So let's keep it rocking.
I cannot respect men who are claim jackers. Like I don't
Like what?
Now, let me ask you guys a question. Do you ever see anybody else's streams cut out like that? I just want to ask you guys a question. I want to ask you guys a question. Do we see any other YouTuber stream cut out like that? Why does my stream cut out so consistently? You guys know I got the best equipment. I got commercial grade internet. Why is that happening? Why does that happen so often on the Saint in the Center channel? Is that a coincidence? Does it have anything to do with the fact that though I might speak about the same things as some of these other characters, I also am organizing to take action? You think maybe that has something to do with it? You ever notice if you search my name in YouTube, my channel doesn't come up? Reaction channels come up. Come on now. Come on now. It says you're a black man. That's why. Hell nah. It's a lot of niggas that they don't do this to. You hear me? Nah. It's not because I'm a black man. It's because I'm a certain type of leader.
Were kidnapped.
But anyways, you know, and just that answer lets me know that people ain't soaking up this ism. You dig? Like, man, people really got to tap in with the ism because they are not understanding. There's a different level of threat. These boys are podcasters out here. You dig? Yeah, they going to be here for a long time. Bro said, because you're black. You think it's, nigga, there's black people all over the television. What? Come on. You got to be better at thinking than that. Got to be better at thinking than that. Anyways, let's get this work.
My people were robbed. They what? My people were men.
Right. That's fair. I know all about it.
So it's very hard to be respectful of what is here when me, for example, as an African-American male, I know how I got here. I didn't take the cheap flight on Frontier here. My people were kidnapped. My people were robbed. They what?
They were sold by Africans.
You say all people were sold by Africans?
How you think what you think white people came over there and got us?
Yes.
No, they were sold.
So this talking point that Anton is pushing forward is really sad to see because number one, I think it's just one of those things where, you know, he didn't read, he didn't study. He just heard, you know, white folks say it and he just started repeating it. Doesn't mean it's untrue, but it's not the whole truth. That's the problem. I just happen to have studied under Dr. Mario Adiola, who's one of the foremost scholars in this particular thing. And yes, it's true. There were Africans that sold other Africans. And at some level, it's probably not wise for us to use the term African selling Africans because that would be a misnomer. They didn't identify as one another, which is why they were selling each other. Typically, they were selling those who were POWs, that is to say, prisoners of war, their enemies. Or you might have, you know, been incarcerated. So as a result of a court ruling, you could have been put into servitude or enslavement. In addition, you could have been kidnapped, and many Africans were kidnapped. And the question would be, well, why was that? Well, there was increased motivation when we saw the when these Africans saw the financial opportunity for enslavement. So those are important aspects included. It's called the truth. Furthermore, another thing we have to understand and differentiate is the nature of European enslavement and African enslavement. In the case of Europeans, it was based on race. In the case of Africans, it was not based on race. In the case of Europeans, you were born into enslavement. In the case of Africans, you were not born into enslavement. In the case of Europeans, it was extraordinarily brutal. In the case of Africans, it was not in the same level of brutality at all, like a huge gap. Now, does that make it okay on either side? You know, probably not. Does Anton have a point at some level? For sure. Is he telling the whole truth? Hell nah, absolutely not. And I think that maybe he knows that's not the whole truth. I don't know. He could be ignorant, willfully, or, you know, casually. But at the end of the day, neither of them are quite in the middle where the truth lies. So there's that.
They just capitalized off of it better than the Africans did.
Okay, so you're saying that all of the black people that were brought here were sold by Africans.
Correct.
So the white people.
That's a lie. So that he said correct, meaning correct. That's what Anton is saying. But what Anton was expressing was in fact a lie in the sense that it is not factual. It is untrue. There are a good number of black folks who were prisoners of war. They were kidnapped. They found themselves in servitude as a result of judicial proceedings. So it's not true that they were all just sold into slavery by other Africans. There are various ways. And the other thing, when you say by other Africans, think of it this way. If the Italians sell the Germans into slavery, or the Greeks, or the Spartans sell the Athenians into slavery, which, there were times that Greeks enslaved other Greeks. If the Spartans sell the Athenians into slavery, they didn't feel like they were selling their own into slavery. So when you say Africans selling other Africans, that would be like saying Europeans selling other Europeans, but that wouldn't be sensible because a German does not identify with a Frenchman. They identify as different, which is precisely why you could have a situation whereby they would sell one another. So the language itself is confusing. And I think in the case of the white supremacists, which is where Anton may have gotten some of these talking points, I think it's intentional in that case. Whereas I think in Anton's case, he's went a little too far in terms of trying to assess, or rather address, the lack of accountability among black people. I like to think that I provide a proper hybrid and middle ground between these two perspectives. One very sympathetic and the other one completely unsympathetic. The truth is, in this case, somewhere in between, and I don't pride myself on being a moderate. It just happens that the truth is in between their two positions.
Well, they were just doing transactions over there.
Absolutely. It was capitalism. See, the thing about white people.
Now, he's laughing, but it, in fact, was capitalism, but it was not only capitalism. Maybe it's a little bit more than capitalism. So, again, Anton is providing half-truths. It wasn't just capitalism. Because if it was just capitalism, I suppose it could have been easier to get slaves from Europe. You were already in Europe. You already speak the European languages. Surely the transaction should have been easier. So it was a little deeper than capitalism. So there's some truth there. Certainly capitalism was a driving force, no doubt, profit, but not the whole story for surezies.
You think that racism is inherently in them. Racism is inherently in all of us. Black people is some of the.
Now, this is interesting because Anton is making potentially a meaningful point. However, it's actually peripheral to the current discussion. The current discussion is not about racism. Rather, it was about enslavement and assessing, guilt and, right or wrong. And if Anton should identify more so with his, racial group, ethnic group, and have more of a sympathetic view and maybe a more antagonistic view toward white folks. That was kind of like more so the ball game they were in. And so Anton has changed the topic to racism. It's very subtle, so it's kind of hard to detect the red herring. I highly doubt that Corey is going to assess this slight sidestep. And it's a valid sidestep, but just in terms of tracking a linear argument, it's no longer a linear argument. Carrying on.
Most racist people I've ever seen in my entire life is inherently in them. Racism is inherently in all of us. Black people is some of the most racist people I've ever seen in my entire life.
Okay, now see, when you hear things like that, it's just kind of like you're going a little too hard on behalf of the white supremacists, not even on behalf of whites. I think everyday average white people probably wouldn't even say anything like this. This is a bit extreme. This is the kind of rhetoric you're going to hear from white supremacists, and it doesn't have any evidence behind it. You say that black people are some of the most racist people you've ever seen. No one who is familiar with history, even at a summary level, would make such a peculiar claim. For example, if you look just in America without even going to international examples, which we shall, you don't see the history bear out what he's saying. Anytime you had any organized group of black people even if they were, black pride or black power or black supremacists under whatever banner, you never find any organized level of effective hatred against white folks. You don't find violence. You don't find, hate preaching at a significant level. It just doesn't exist. There is no evidence for it. Conversely, anytime you find a group that purports to be a white nationalist group, you always invariably find violence. The skinheads, we call them the Ku Klux Klan. And we know that the racism is so embedded in the American white ruling class that to this day, the Ku Klux Klan, who has murdered a multitude, have never been identified as a terrorist organization. And I think that they would have to be the earliest example of a terrorist organization in the United States. And for that reason, at this point, I find it hard to take Anton seriously. It in fact saddens me because, he's just lying right now. And I have to ask myself, like, well, why are you lying like that? That's so weird. Now, there are levels to racism, but the level of effective, practical hatred that is exercised by the white ruling class it's not even comparable to anything exercised by any other group. And when he says black people are some of the most racist people I've ever met, I'd just be curious to know what the data is on that. And frankly, I'd be curious to compare that data to the lynchings that you saw by organized whites, Ku Klux Klan, or the skinheads, or even unorganized whites, just random mobs of white folks who would protest and violently attack black folks for things as simple as drinking at a water fountain, sitting down for a meal at a restaurant, integrating a school, trying to learn. You just do not have a parallel. So the fact that Anton, I think, is well regarded for portraying himself as a reasonable man, that was very much so devoid of reason. Now, does Corey Holcomb have it in him to go through the arid intellectual point by point on this? I don't think that's so much his style. I think maybe he's a little more comedic and a little more loose with it, but that's what I would have wanted to go through at that point, because that claim was just completely baseless. It was like it's not even near reasonable. Anyways, shout out to Gilded, just went on MDB label and got dripped up, got the tank tops. He also got the fencing long sleeves. Beautiful. Appreciate the support. Shout out to the people going to MDB label, getting bossed up. Oh, also I got on the hoodie. I can't even say it out loud because we're in a censorship corporation, but you can see what that says. Yeah. And I really mean it too. I really mean it. That's SASMbrand.com, SASMbrand.com. Log in, boss up. Shout out to Mr. Chapman, comes in via PayPal. He writes, the way I see it, swing first, as Mr. Burton would say. Absolutely. Not only did I say it, I wrote it in the black box. You heard me? Swing first. That'll keep you safe. You can get that on Amazon. Type in the black box, Marquett Burton. He writes, the moment Corey came and got into Anton's face, it should have popped off. If a man gets in your face and says, say that again, and you don't, then clearly you don't want the smoke. Don't write a check your ASS can't cash. I agree with you on that one. One thing I'll tell you is that I did see that clip, and my recollection is that Corey says, you kiss white folks ASS. And then the retort was, you suck black people's fill in the blank. Now, you're kissing so-and-so's ASS. That's like a figure of speech common in the English language. Not respectful, but common. Vulgar, but it's standard usage. You suck so-and-so's fill in the blank. You went too far, my boy. You went too far. And especially generationally speaking, maybe if you were like a goofy ass kid, like a 15-year-old in Atlanta, you might say stuff like this to each other. But 9 out of 9, nah, hell nah. We don't really talk like that to each other. That's over the line. And I'll tell you what, sometimes in the heat of a debate or a discussion, you might go too far. So to empathize and put myself in one of these guys' situation, if I was Anton Daniels and, just retorting, and I understand the retort, it was kind of a parallel structure. If I said that, as soon as that came out of my mouth and then he reacted, I'd be like, you know what, my boy, I apologize. that was a bit much. I don't agree with you still. And I'm not scared, but I apologize because that wasn't necessary. Like, I don't need to disrespect you like that. I would apologize because I was just too far. Then Corey got up and told the lady to hop out, and shout out to her for getting out of the way expeditiously. Beautiful thing. Love to see it, as opposed to her being foolish. Like, hold on, you guys don't do this. Like, no, I'm glad she got out the way because that was a safe thing to do. Then he came over and sat down in the seat. Now, shout out to him because he's covering ground. That's a dominant move. That's guerrilla level right there. Now, here's the thing. Me personally, it depends on how I was feeling. Like 9 out of 9, like when he got up, I'd have probably got up too. Like if he'd got up and came over, like I'd have probably got up too. It'd have popped off right then and there. Not even because I wanted to put him out, just because it feel like he wanted to be put out. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't even want to put him out, but he wanted to be put out. I'd have had to do it to him just because I'm like, I ain't feeling right now. Like it don't feel safe right now. I got to put you down. That's just me, though. That's my spidey senses. But that's exactly why I would have never said that to him. Not because I don't want the smoke, but I came there to do an interview. I ain't come there to, like, be shooting the fade. So Anton's language in that case, it was way out of control. I don't think Anton was trying to set up a fade. I think that Corey could have reacted differently for Scherzies. I understand why he reacted that way. But at the end of the day, nobody took an L there because they both got put in that algorithm. So they both ran that bag up. And that's what it's about at the end of the day. As Anton said earlier, capitalism, excuse me. I have the government gave me a man-made disease that the white ruling class made in a laboratory in concert with China. You heard me? Yeah, they doing this dirty out here, man. But anyways, that was wild. So I agree with you there, Mr. Chapman. That could have been avoided. Shout out to Gary, came in supporting the work using the Stripe link in the description of the video. And I appreciate those of you who do support. We'll go as long as you like. I'm willing to go the whole mile. May I also acknowledge, shout out to Charlie, writes, tuition for this necessary work came in via Venmo. Shout out to Eric. He writes, Peace of Saints tuition, met members of the Los Angeles section for the first time on Sunday. It makes me appreciate your leadership even more. I appreciate you. Shout out to Eric. Shout out to my executive over there in Los Angeles, Chris, a great leader. We have a real organization. We have a real revolutionary organization on the ground around the whole planet Earth. That's why it's different. That's why they got to shadow ban me. You dig? Yeah, we got the soldiers on deck. Shout out to Caleb, writes, tuition, Peace of Saints came in via Venmo. May I also acknowledge Constantine, always supporting. Shout out to the loyal ones. May I also acknowledge Mr. Chambliss. He writes, I've been dealing with people of supposed high intelligence who are not competent. It happens. And I've also been dealing with people who call themselves quote, those who spread good morality, end quote, who are heavy liars. This is very time consuming. Oh, absolutely. You should remove yourself from that situation. Shout out to Good Sir, comes in by Venmo, writes, salute, appreciate you. May I also acknowledge Mario, writes tuition. Shout out to Christian, writes tuition as well, came in by Venmo. Shout out to Jalen. He writes, Latin album and the Assassin album are fire. The intro song is inspiring. Jalen, to answer your question, magician never tells his secrets. Anyways, carrying on.
We don't even like each other.
So can I ask you a question?
No,
Why do you
hold on.
think-
Let's
why-
stay there.
Okay.
We don't even like each other.
Now, this is an important thing. When he says we don't like each other, the first question I always ask, well, who's we? Because we two different kind of niggas. You heard me? Yeah, we two different kind of niggas right here. What you mean we? Like, we clearly don't identify together. So who's we? Because you and I are not in the same we. That's number one. Then when he says we don't like each other, presumably he's talking about Black Americans. We don't like each other. I have no problem with generalizations, but this is not a generalization. This is basically speaking for 100%, the way it's linguistically structured. And that, again, is untrue. Now, if he said Black people, a subsection of us, don't get along with, those of our own ethnic group, then he'd probably need to justify it with Black on Black crime statistics, which would have to show a significantly higher occurrence than white on white crime statistics. And then he could have a meaningful conversation. Me personally, I just like to have the logic there, because every time someone says something, especially people who don't have any credential or any background, I'm not saying this is the case for him. I haven't researched it, but I need to know, like, are you telling the truth? Because generally I just don't believe people because they're mostly not very bright and they're liars, especially people on YouTube. YouTube because there's no requirements. You heard me? Like anybody could fire up their internet connection and get to babbling on the internet. So just to start with, I'd say like, is that true? And I'd ask him to justify it. And I think that he probably wouldn't have the data ready to go. So then we'd have to go on to the next point.
And so black people participate. Some of the first slavers in the United States of America was black people.
Okay, this is the most insane line of logic because it's like, buddy, what are you talking? Like, what are you talking about? This reminds me of the white supremacists when enslavement comes up. They immediately go to, it's really the small hats are the ones that are responsible for slavery. I'm like, but I thought there was a slave ship named Jesus. I thought George Washington was a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. I thought most of the slaveholders were Christians. That's why black people today are Christians. So why are we dealing with the minority so that you can craft a narrative like that? I find to be very problematic. It's like, it's dishonest. It's like, bruh, you're not even being reasonable. Like, you're like, there were 3 black slavers out of thousands. Let's talk about those 3. It's like, dude, what? It's not even sensible. And here's the worst thing is that Corey's just taking everything he's saying and responding to it when it's in all likelihood not just, he can't like say, hey, you can see Dr. So-and-so, or you can read a book called Fill in the Blank that provides the reference for insanity.
That's the truth. So what I'm trying to understand is,
Was slavery in the United States before?
slavery existed thousands of years before we got here.
Okay.
Slavery was on every single continent in this world.
Now, this is really interesting when people say things like that and they're not challenged. I always challenge these things because I try to speak based on things I've read, as opposed to like what I heard other people say who probably haven't read.
That's a fact. Now
he said that's a fact. According to whom? Like, according to whom? I'm very curious. Like that's a fact based on who, what, where, when, how.
the thing that's a problem with it is that, then this is the problem that I have. What you niggas want?
What do you mean when you say what you need?
What do y'all want?
What
Like,
do you want?
cause y'all complaining about it.
So right now, I understand his sentiment. And in fact, I agree. I don't think reparations will ever occur. So I think it's just a wasted topic, primarily for the incompetent, unskilled, and poor who want things for free. So I think he and I probably agree on, reparations is a waste. So white folks ain't giving you a damn thing. You hear me? So it's like, why even waste time talking about it? Let's find a way to build up ourselves. So we agree there. But now his tone saying what you niggas want is a bit aggressive, and it's kind of turning things up. And I'd say as of now, I don't see Corey having returned that energy. And by the way, I encourage my moderators to be very aggressive. Get the weirdos out of the chat, please.
Over and over again. And I'm trying to understand, what is it that y'all looking for? What is going to help
a
y'all?
whole thing that has happened?
Because I'm solutions oriented, and I'm tired of niggas that ain't never been through shit complaining about shit that they ain't never been through.
Now, here's an interesting thing. Again, Corey's, in my opinion, doing a horrible job at interrogating Anton's position when he says solutions oriented. Now, I'm saying, okay, very good. Well, talking itself is not a solution. So tell me what you're doing. Like where does the action come in? What are you doing? Because I like solutions too.
You black in the United States, you've been through some shit.
But I'm tired of niggas complaining about shit that they have never been through. You've been through some shit, but you ain't been through that.
I don't
And
understand. What do you?
Anton right there has a good point. I agree. And in fact, I find that it's the people who are the least competent that complain about slavery for the blacks. And it's the people who are the least competent that complain about whites being victim of racism and they're trying to get the white man down. I agree. It's the incompetent people who are the complainers. And then you have the profiteer class, the merchant class who have figured out how to monetize the sorrows of the ignorant masses. So I can agree with Mr. Daniels there.
Saying like I'm
Because most of the niggas that's complaining about it ain't never even really seen real racism. These is new niggas. All of these internet niggas right here, these is new niggas.
So are you saying black people in the United States, some of them have skipped over racism?
Yes, definitively.
Come on, man.
Definitively. You have a greater chance of being killed by somebody that look like you than to ever interact with somebody that don't look like you and kill you.
But do you
That's a
understand,
fact.
Do you understand that it's made like that on purpose? The position
It's the system.
that-
The system
position
against
that-
us. I got it.
Okay.
Now, Anton is being impolite and dismissive. So, if you believe that things build, like, I don't know, like emotions build up, this may be the build up to that. But one thing I can tell you is, I wouldn't find this to be a terribly fascinating conversation. It just seems like a threadbare discussion that's been had many times and is unproductive, doesn't lead anywhere. But carrying on.
But the position you and your people are in,
Who is my people?
black people, do you claim black people?
I'm a Christian first. I claim.
Well, I think something's wrong with that. If you don't want to say you're a black man first, I think something wrong with
Black
that.
is a construct. They told you that you was black.
Okay, well,
That's
brown,
why you start
brown.
Okay, so now Anton is getting into some weird stuff like black is a construct. It's like, no, it's a category. It's a category to group together like beings, people who share features, racial features, phenotypical features. So no, black is not a construct. It's a concept that is used to group things that are alike, or in this case, persons or peoples that are alike. So at this point, it's kind of like, are you trying to make this a war of words instead of a war of ideas? So that's kind of like, Carrying on.
No. We not brown. We not black. We not none of that shit.
Oh, well, what are we?
We not none. For me, I'm a believer in God. That's what I am. My foundation is always going to be Christianity, Christ, Jesus first. I don't claim.
Okay, so as soon as he said that, now we know why Anton Daniels is a white supremacist. You've heard me say this many times, that Christianity is a white supremacist religion. You cannot be a Christian and not be essentially a white supremacist. And so there you have it, ladies and saints. And you find that all of the ideas I share, they always hold water. Every single time you just like, damn, Marquett is a genius. And so now we understand why he has to defend the white supremacist position, because his religion is white supremacist. He was enslaved by white supremacists. That's probably where he got the religion from, if you dig back through his history. So now we get it. And also, I tell you, frankly, you can't really trust people who base their life or perspective on things that are not real. Carrying on.
Ain't none of that other shit. You not gonna get me to believe in you based off of some shit that you can't control. You didn't pick it. And the thing about other cultures, whether you black, Chinese, Asians don't fuck with each other just because they're Asian. Chinese people and Japanese people and Taiwanese people, they're all different. Koreans are different.
So right now he's failing to make a point, but let's just keep listening.
All white people don't fuck with all white people. So
I don't know why he's being so vulgar. I just don't understand.
why do I have an obligation to fuck with somebody just because he black? Okay, and then the definition of how
I don't think anyone said that. I don't think I heard Mr. Holcomb state that you had to be buddies with everyone just because they're black. But I also think oppositely, we should ask the question, why do you seem so repelled by the concept of blackness? Now, me personally, I don't like poor people. You might say, well, Marquett, why do you want to stay away from poor people? I want to stay away from poor people and ugly people because they don't have anything I want. I want to stay. It might be contagious. I got to stay away. But in his case, I'm like, you seem to be repelled by just the concept itself of blackness. Like, what's going on here, my boy? And he's arguing against an argument, a straw man, an argument that Mr. Holcomb has not made.
how you define black is based off of something that a white man gave to you.
Okay, well, trust me, brother. You white people. Let me.
Now he called him brother. He's not your brother. He's not your brother. As they say, every skin folk ain't kinfolk. Now, me personally, I've already said it many times. I don't mess with people just black because a lot of them are weirdos days. I don't know what they believe.
Tell you something. I know Caucasian people that have looked at me and threw me licks. But I am from Chicago.
And I'm from
Detroit.
Detroit.
It was Chicago is very segregated. I knew nothing about Caucasian people until I moved to Los Angeles. And a lot of the stories I heard, it turned out to be just that. But back to this Christianity, you have to understand this. You were taught that by the people who kidnapped you. Is that a lie?
Nope.
Okay, so
So now let's watch him try to wiggle out of this. And this is, you can't really argue with religious people because they're fundamentally dishonest. If a religious person ever say, oh, God told me, fill in the blank. No, God didn't tell you that. You're literally lying and making up things and ascribing it to someone else. You're a dishonest person, or you're deluded. You're mentally unwell. And so we're about to listen to him start lying. And this is no disrespect to Mr. Daniels, because many people have this particular peculiar ailment.
We was taught everything that you know on this earth was taught to you. The racism that you have in your heart, it was taught to you.
you say I'm racist?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I studied you.
Wow.
I studied you.
This is why
Where
I
am I racist? I don't know a lot of racism in me. But
Absolutely.
maybe you can show me something I don't know.
We're going to
This
get there.
is why I wanted
We'll
you
get
guys
there.
to start the show off in your own mode.
No.
I don't
When
wanna-
Brother Anton Daniels was talking to me on the phone, I knew that we didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things,
Yeah,
but
we
I
talked about
believe
that.
we can have a conversation like.
One thing that I find peculiar is he keeps calling him brother. It's almost like he's trying to establish some sort of a bridge with him. Anton doesn't seem to be establishing any bridge at all. In fact, it seems like he started off a little bit, maybe not feeling so good about Mr. Holcomb and the setup.
Like, man, it's like a lot of stuff he's saying right now I disagree with so much. But
Both of us.
I'm going to try to make a point because I have the hopes. I have the hopes in reaching him in a way. You know what I'm saying? I know that ain't guaranteed.
Now that is crazy, and that is extremely optimistic. In fact, I'd say that edges on foolish. Differently, I almost never expect to persuade anyone, and people describe me as persuasive, but I never try to persuade anyone. I'm of the fundamental belief that human beings mostly don't change, and that typically the best way to change their mind, if you must, is to blow their brains out, because they will stick to their beliefs, however foolish, primitive, silly. That's why you have black people who believe in Jesus, even though they came here on a slave ship named Jesus, and that very Jesus allowed them to be beaten and abused for more than 100 years. They allowed that Jesus allowed your children to be sexually abused by the strangers, the multitudes of strangers, and to be sold away and taken from you. And it's like, where was your Jesus? So it just lets me know that stupidity is boundless.
I'm not.
And
blind
I
and
have the
stupid.
hopes that I'm going to get y'all off of the Democratic plantation.
Yeah, because I don't know nothing about.
And yeah, Anton is a good boy. That Democratic plantation, that language comes specifically from the Republicans. And I find it to be very sad, because when you hear this kind of language about Democratic plantation, what it really speaks to is the idea of taking your vote and applying it to the Republican cause, not the black cause, but the Republican cause. And what we should be asking ourselves is like, is that a worthy goal? Your goal is to change me from being a Democrat to a Republican? How about lift me up from being poor to wealthy? How about lift me up from having no knowledge of self to having some self-respect? And I just find it so sad to see a black man parroting the talking points of thoughtless white supremacists, not knowing that he is an acolyte of their way and of their culture. And it should be an embarrassment. Just consider this. How strange would it be to find a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white man named Jawanza Kunjufu? So he introduces himself. He's blonde with blue eyes. He has a thick Nigerian accent. He's like, hello, my name is Jawanza Kunjufu. And he's wearing traditional Yoruba garb, dressed like an African, you'd look at him like, boy, what the hell's gotten into you? And then when it's, Sunday, you ask him like, hey, you coming on down to church? And he says, church? No, I would never go to church. I praise my ancestors from Nigeria. I praise my ancestors. That's how we praise in the Yoruba faith. And then you like, but you not really Nigerian. You're white. It would be strange. It'd be really peculiar to us because you've never seen the whites abandon who and what they are to opt for masquerading as us. Yet you have a gentleman named Anton, English, Daniels. Is he an Englishman? And he has the Christian faith. He has everything in the white way except his skin. So if that's not white supremacy, I don't know what is. I mean, that's white supremacy through and through. In as much as, and I get it, you're born in America, you're born in the hells of North America as a captive in a white country. I get it, but there's a certain number of things you have to sign up to, my boy. And so I think that is fairly pathetic. So, yeah. And I understand, every culture steals from other cultures, and we should probably take the best of other cultures such that we can build. But I don't think he's taking from their cultures to enhance or to build anything. I think that he thinks he's, and I don't say this to disrespect Anton as an individual. I say this because I despise that as an archetype. Carrying on. By the way, send in your comments, questions using the information below, your ties, tuition, and support, because no one can break it down like this.
About the Democratic plantation.
Everything that you speak of, it's a reflection of the same thing that they speak of. So you may not claim it, but you're a reflection of it.
Well, if I reflect something that is this Democratic plantation, I tell you what, I really don't study a Democratic plantation. I try to study being a stand-up human being where when I look in the mirror, I don't see a slick motherfucker. Right. That's who I am.
I'm with it.
I don't like slick motherfuckers.
That's the first thing we agreed on.
Okay, well, good. I'm glad we got there. But I get labeled all the time. I was talking to a young lady on the phone the other day, and she said, "I know you hate what's the lady who calls herself a doctor? I'm blanking right now.
Oh my God,
Dr. Bryant." And I'm like, I don't hate nobody. Where do you get hate from? And then I was on the internet. Every once in a while, I look at the pages that use my likeness and image and everything, and I listened to some of the stuff they said, and I was called bitter, and I don't know how to get money. But anyway, coincidentally, today I'm talking to a brother who knows how to work the internet well and get money.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying?
Facts.
So it's like, everything comes in its season for a man. I am willing to talk logically, because like the stuff you say, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
One person's take or views on things.
I don't know what Shorty is there for. She just like a buffer. She just like it's like an ice cream sandwich, and she's just like the vanilla center. I have no idea what baby girl is doing there. That is quite curious, but shout out to her.
This makes it interesting.
Excuse me, ma'am, you need a mic, ma'am. You can ask on the mic.
Anton, just a clarifying question. What about, are you comparing racism with prejudice? Do you think black people can truly be racist, or are we just prejudiced?
No, I think that there's a lot of people that hate white people, like straight up hate white people. And it's very unfortunate.
See, and I just hate to say what I would have done, but I think we all know I would have dismantled that ASAP. No, there are not a lot of black people who hate white people. And I would know well. I've lived in San Francisco. I lived in Los Angeles. I lived in Chicago. I lived in Baltimore. I lived in Erie, Pennsylvania. I lived in Springfield, Missouri. I lived in St. Louis, Missouri. I've traveled widely on the African continent and throughout the rest of the world. No, there are not a lot of black people that hate white people. This is complete nonsense. In fact, there are many African countries you can go to. And if you're Bad if you can see and hear me. It's really curious, isn't it? Yes. By the way, if you've not subscribed at peacetothesaints.com, I think we can see that there is a concerted effort. There's a concerted effort. Where is it? peacetothesaints.com. Go ahead and sign up there, because I can promise you that this is not an accident. I can promise you. And you hear ideas like Anton's. We lost one. We lost one of our soldiers. Anton's a great man. He's a great man. I love to see brothers like Anton. He's very capable and intelligent and industrious. And we lost one. You know, as a black community, we've lost one. That is why I do my work. I start off as a public school teacher teaching black kids. I'm building a training center right now to train the black youth, male and female, because with Anton Daniels, we've lost one. We've lost one. He's not a credit to our race in as much as his identity is bound up in white Jesus and the white man's religion. Religion is hugely important for a people. We're going to get back to the video, but I just want to explain something to you guys. When I travel the world, I always stop in museums, which are often, maybe a castle or a palace, and kings ruled by divine right, which is to say the leader, the chief of the tribe, was selected and revered because it's believed that God selected them to rule over everyone, over the tribesmen. So religion is core to the existence of a people. Every group of people have an origin story that is religious in nature. So the moment you pull religion out of a people, or you get a black man to take a white man's religion, he is confused into thinking that he is a part of the white man's collective and group. And also at the same time, he becomes an enemy of his own people because he's a double agent. He appears to be one of us, but he is in fact not one of us. He is a danger to us.
Because they're not even the ones that's winning over here. We compare ourselves against a group of people that the majority of them is on food stamps and welfare. They would be a disappointment to their ancestors.
Right, but isn't true racism a system that controls access to,
And I don't even want to hear what she says, because we don't need women speaking up. We need women playing the background. You might say, damn, Quet, you a foul nigga. Yeah, well, listen, man, desperate times call for desperate measures. We have to reestablish the natural order. And we don't need to hear what women think, because that's not their primary job, thinking. Their primary job is caring and supporting, not leading. I don't even know why they handed Shorty the mic. So now Corey's out of line for that. You heard me? Yeah, let her sit down and shut up. Practice her domestic skills, because half these chicks don't know how to cook, clean, and maintain a house. Huh? They don't know how to add peace to a man's life. That's fundamental. Family is fundamental. But you rarely hear people discuss the meat and potatoes of nation building.
Well, that's the argument, right? The argument is
we can't make sure white people don't get access to certain schools. And
shut up! Nobody cares about this crap right now. They're arguing about the definition of words. They're arguing about who it is and isn't racist. Who cares? Who cares? Racism's not going anywhere. Sometimes I want to use the N-word with a hard R. I kid you not. I get DMs that make me want to use the N-word with a hard R. That's why I only respond to DMs on wisdom.com/Marquett Devon, because I don't want these goofy, broke imbeciles sending me reels and stupid messages like I'm the homie. I'm not the homie. I'm not a celebrity. I don't want to hear from you. Okay? Send me something meaningful. I'll be wanting to use the N-word hard R. You heard me? Who cares who's racist? Let's talk about getting out of poverty. Let's talk about proper education. Let's talk about knowing your own history. Let's talk about who's actually getting the work done. Let's talk about doing some house cleaning, cleaning out the Dr. Umars, cleaning out the double agents. Huh? Let's talk about how people can't respect and follow directions within the black collective. Huh? Let's talk about how we're overly sensitive to the truth. Huh? Stop the silliness. Shout out to Imagine Onward. He sent through a URL and a timestamp. He said from 5 minutes, 44 seconds, he states, Anton says, we don't have any leaders. Let's take a look at what Anton had to say. So here's Anton. And shout out to my bald head brother, Anton. I love to see it. You hear me? The bald head brothers, we're making a comeback.
The United States.
So right away, I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. I'm going to be so honest and so real. In the very beginning, when we first started this, I realized that he didn't have the intellectual capacity to have a real.
Damn. I'm going to go ahead and say him and Corey are not friends anymore. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. You just basically called a man dumb in front of millions of people. Yeah, y'all ain't going to be friends again. Carrying on.
Conversation. This is the honest to God truth.
You did say you researched them, so you knew that going on the show, though. So, you knew that going on the show. All right, carry on.
I mean, how do you want me to break this down? Greatest country in the world. You don't know the history of slavery. He really don't even know the laws. He don't know about what happened with black people.
I'm going to go ahead and say you don't know the history of slavery. In fact, let me not say that because that would be too strong of a statement. You have not represented any meaningful insights on the history of the transatlantic slave trade. I'll say that. And I'd be right in that. And we just watched the footage on it.
He doesn't know anything. He doesn't know.
Damn, anything? Goddamn.
You're benefiting and you're sitting here living on the land that it is that you're talking about. You can't give any real examples. This was not going to be an intellectual conversation.
But that's okay because people don't want intellect. They want entertainment. And that's, again, the problem with the masses, not only the black masses. That's precisely why I'm creating a training center. In fact, I do believe that little over half of America's population reads at a 6th grade or below reading level. We're talking about adults included. And this is the great problem. And for the black people, I mean, you would think that with them believing in racism, it's strange that they would let the racist governments and the racist whites teach their kids. And the racist government and the racist whites have done a terrible job. That's why your kids are nearly brainless. They can scarcely speak English, and that's the only language that they speak. They have no manners. Many of them, not all of them. They can't even give customer service in the fast food industry. You see them on internet reels, misbehaving, getting into fights. You serve hamburgers. Why? How? Where? At what point should a conflict occur when someone says, hey, give me some more special sauce for my French fries? All of humankind in the West is in the decline, America more rapidly. Yeah, these are real issues. I totally agree with that. But the question is, who's doing something? Now, I was an actual teacher. So I'm telling you the kids are brainless. And I was a teacher, a public school teacher. So I know for sure because I studied it when I took a master's at Johns Hopkins, a master's in education. And then I taught. Then I also founded a nonprofit. So I know for sure there's a problem. But to Anton Daniels' point, he said, I knew it wouldn't be an intellectual conversation. Well, you went there knowing it'd be entertainment because you said you researched them in advance. And the reason so many people are watching right now is because people want entertainment. And that's why when any black person ever criticizes me, my first question is, are you a member at peaceofthesaints.com? If you're not, shut up, go away. You don't matter to me. You don't matter at all because you're not a part of any organization that's working to fix things and set things right. Not just for black people, in general. You don't matter. You're just a talker. I'm a doer. I only talk to doers. So I have no ear to your begging.
It just is what it is. But this is what I've been telling y'all. These dudes are Neanderthals.
That is a bit ironic that Anton is a major fan of the whites. Africans actually do not have Neanderthal DNA. Europeans do have some Neanderthal DNA. And, obviously that's not such a bad thing. Apparently, it might make you a little bit more ruthless. But, historically, white racists used to accuse black people of being Neanderthals and underdeveloped. And then when they figured out that they had Neanderthal DNA, then they're like, oh, okay, well, never mind. So that's a curious word to use to describe your fellow blacks.
The people that we champion in our community.
He keeps saying our community. There's no community. That does not exist.
Are Neanderthals.
I agree with him there, but that makes perfect sense. You're basically saying that the imbeciles, which is to say the masses of blacks, the imbeciles follow other imbeciles. Well, that makes perfect sense. I mean, of course that's the case.
We don't have any heroes. We don't have any leaders. Are they entertaining? Yeah, but they would have been the court gestures back in the day. So right, already situational. And I told Corey this on the phone before I even came out here. Corey asked, could I come on the platform? I never asked. Shout out to Gooch. Shout out to a lot of people. And I'm like, yeah, it's an opportunity to expand my platform 100%. So looking to go in there and belittle or embarrass anybody. I was looking.
One thing I will say, and I agree 100% with Mr. Daniels, is that if someone asks you to come on their platform, then at some level you're doing them a favor, especially if you're not getting paid for it. And then secondly, if they ask you to come on their platform, they should surely be on time. In fact, they should be ahead of time. So doesn't seem like that was the case, and that is disrespectful, and that does sour me. And I don't usually do business with people who are not timely. So I totally empathize with him on that.
Looking to come in and put on a good show. So the one caveat and the one criteria that I said was I'm only doing it in person from now on. I'm not doing no more, online live stream interviews because I can't have nobody controlling the narrative. I don't want nobody muting my mic. I don't want nobody saying.
I haven't watched him do that stuff, but literally maybe yesterday, I saw my old lady was watching like a panel show with like a bunch of black chicks and him. I don't know if he was controlling the panel, but I saw him on a panel show, and I think maybe it's his panel show, but someone can correct me if I'm wrong. So I guess he's saying if he's not running the panel, then he doesn't want to be on a panel show. And he has every right to, have things his way. He's been very successful in the space. And when you're successful, you get to decide what the terms of engagement will be. The internet is very dishonest. And I think part of it is dishonest. The other part is actual stupidity. I had a debate with one overweight dimwit. And when I would speak, my voice was going over his. And that's because I was using a microphone and he was not. And people were saying that I was muting his microphone. Now, mind you, you could see both my hands. So I was clearly not muting his microphone, but people make up lies. And it's very common because so few people have integrity, and human beings are animals. And unless you train them, you refine them, they will be fairly pathetic. And we're in a situation where we got some of these kids who were going to school during COVID. You hear me? They're missing out on the basics. We have a brainless population. So I totally get the frustration that the gentleman may experience.
And kicking me, you know what I'm saying? Like, anytime I go, I do an interview from now on, it's got to be face to face. I'm not doing any more live streams. So.
Okay, we got his point. That was the clip that the gentleman that sent me along. Now we're getting back to our main one.
Just to be quite
but
honest.
See, that's what I was going to say. Y'all, that's the argument that black people make, is that you can't be racist if you can't actually have an impact on another group of people. So it's supposedly systemic. It's false.
Really?
I just seen a guy that used to be the president of
Bro said, I just seen
the United States of America that wanted to becoming the president of the United States of America for the second time, almost get everything taken away from him. Literally. And he was basically being taken down.
That's extraordinary to use the example of the president of the United States. Generally speaking, when you make arguments, you might want to use a data set. Certainly, you don't want to use outliers. And I think we could probably all agree that a billionaire, that's an outlier. Someone who's running for president, that's an outlier. So we're seeing that the logic is just very poor. And the sad thing is that sometimes, people themselves to be making phenomenal points, and because they're not engaging someone with the skill set or the framework to challenge them in a certain way, they really think they're cooking, when in actual fact, I'm just sitting back. You're me like a goddamn Punjabi chef. Like, bro, that is not chicken tikka masala. I don't know what that is, but that is not the chicken. You did not make the naan. Like, I'm just sitting back like, bro, knock it off, my nail. Like, please stop it. This is the worst example on earth. But truth be told, this little tidbit that they're talking about on racism is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It's not even meaningful.
All of those are black women, specifically that met with Kamala Harris months before they actually started this campaign during the Biden administration. And it's
Side note, Kamala Harris is not black. Carrying on.
so funny to me because then I have to ask myself the question, well, listen, if this is a construct and if it's all about white people and all of the energy is going towards a person that black people fucked with before he actually ran for president of the United States of America. But we champion Barack Obama.
Not me.
No.
Not me either.
No, take yourself out of it. We talking about the culture. It may not necessarily be you individually, but we as a culture fuck with him.
Fuck with who?
Barack Obama and his wife. We fuck with him. As a culture, we champion him. We absolutely do. And
Well, number one, I don't know why he keeps saying the F words so much. It's just very strange. But more importantly, I don't like anything Barack Obama stands for. But still, there's great reason to champion him as a culture. He's articulate. He's reasonably good looking. He got into the presidency, I'd say relatively young in life. He had a swagger that none of the other presidents had at any level. He had a black wife. He's extremely articulate. He knows how to deliver a speech. He's very smooth and graceful and elegant. He has some black ass lips and probably smokes cigarettes. But aside from that, yeah, there's every reason to champion him. So this is stupidity. I support and respect what Obama has been able to accomplish while finding all of his policies to have been atrocious in the exact same way that all the other white guys have had bad policies, because they're operating within the same beast. So what Anton is discussing right now, it really is meritless. It's extraordinarily meritless, and it's very partisan. It seems as though he's very deeply entrenched into the American political system and the dichotomy of the Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative, as opposed to right and wrong, good and bad, and other frameworks. And I think that's worth noting.
he didn't give y'all shit except for gay marriage.
You know I
crazy.
know that. That's why I ain't arguing with you on this
So
point.
absolutely I vote.
Now, the funny thing, too, is that, again, we find Anton saying things maybe he said 1,000 times on podcasts, because he's saying things that Corey is saying, hey, I agree with you. Hey, I agree with you. And Anton's still passionately arguing against nobody. Like, we all have to assess, like, bro is like a robot on repeat right now. Like, you're not even saying anything that dude disagrees with.
Are you independent? What do you?
I'm a Republican.
Nigga was
You didn't know
proud
that?
about
I'm a
that.
conservative.
Nigga said, nigga, I'm a Republican, white Christian. What you mean? What you mean? I'm a Republican, white Christian. What you mean?
I'm a straight up,
I know
up
who
and
is, but I
down
don't want-
Republican. And matter of fact, people need to really understand their history, because Republicans were the party of black people. It's the original party of black
no, that is
people.
funny. That's
They were
very funny.
they were the party that actually freed the slaves. Lincoln was a
that's-
straight up Republican.
That's really funny, my boy. I actually have a whole presentation that I've still not given. I've not given because the average person is stupid. I have so many things that I'd like to talk about, but I'm like, nah, I don't even think anybody will watch that. I have a whole presentation on how Abraham Lincoln did not care about freeing the slaves. That's not what the Civil War was about. I have a whole presentation on that. But you see what Anton is doing right now is he's regurgitating things that he's heard. But if you were to ask him any pointed questions, boy, he'd fall apart quickly. And the reason I know he'd fall apart quickly is because I've had these conversations with people who make his points. And there's just not much behind it. The reason he's confident in making those points is because they've been said so many times. We accept them as true. That's why it's not being questioned right now. And just imagine suggesting that any party in America is for the black people. We're in a republic, which is a democracy that has a majority rule system, democracy in air quotes. How could a minority have a party that's for them? Come on, please stop it.
When you're talking about the emancipation, when you're talking about 1865, when you're talking about what we stood for as conservative means that we're Christians. It means that we don't fuck with that gay shit. I'm telling you.
Conservative means that we're Christians? Is that what it means? Conservative means that we're Christians. Interesting. Give me one moment. And no, mind you, here's a funny thing. Corey doesn't agree with LGBTQ. So why is Anton arguing so passionately against LGBTQ? I'll tell you why. It's like his preloaded, like argumentative, like, you know, he's assuming you're a leftist, I'm a rightist, and you believe in LGBTQ, so I'm gonna argue against it, even though in this case that's not true. And the reason he has that false dichotomy is because he's operating within the white political framework. But he's talking to a black person, and blacks have never fit really well between the Democrat-Republican framework. Because why do you have to remind us that the Republicans were the party of black people if they really are? Shouldn't we know that? Because I often remind you guys that the left, they're psychotic, and the right, they're psychotically racist. So how could the right, the conservatives, the Republicans be for black people? Why do you have to remind us? You have to remind us because it's actually not true. That's marketing. You're trying to market to us. You're trying to persuade us. You're a silly little fella.
What you saying? You don't fuck with the backdoor shit?
I don't.
I don't either.
And here's the funny thing. Corey is reminding him like, hey, buddy, we agree. What are you arguing against? Are you like a tool of the government or of the Republican Party? What are you talking about? We should all be suspicious. Like, what is Anton talking about? He's arguing with himself right now. Very weird.
That's what it's saying. What it means to be a Republican is this, because a lot of people like to say,
wait, that's interesting. Who asked you that? Who asked you what it means to be a Republican? What does the conversation have to do with being a Republican? Why do we need to know this, Anton? I need that Republican bag that they must have dropped on this ball.
This is backdoor your Republicans.
And we
I
were
know.
taught by our parents.
Come on.
We were taught by our parents. We were taught by our parents that we vote Democrat no matter what.
Shut up. Nobody was taught by their parents that. No one. They brainwashed to each generation fresh. Not one time did my hood ass mother say, boy, you better vote Democratic. Nigga, hood people barely even vote. What are you talking about, goofy? Not one time did my dad say, hey, who you voting for? You better vote for them Democrats. What are you talking about? This is the most ludicrous thing. This man has said so many baseless things with confidence. I'm taken back. I'm taken aback. No, it's what the Democratic candidates say from the platform that easily confuses a people who are largely ignorant and uneducated. That's what persuades them. It's not what your parents told you, because our parents don't know politics. They know individuals. They know Martin Luther King and all that stuff. Come on. This ball making up stuff.
Right? Regardless of what they stand for, regardless of the agendas that they push, regardless of how much nonsense that we see in our communities, regardless of how many people, how many Democrats.
Man, he ain't kicking that pith, man. Y'all got to have a big homie do this. Man, I can't even listen to niggas, like regular niggas, talk at length because they ain't really talking. You heard me? Like, man, when I talk, it's music, it's poetry, there's spirit and rhythm. These niggas just talking here, man. We don't have facts. We don't have beauty in language. We don't have humor. We have lies. And we have ugly, unimpressive language mixed in with periodic vulgarity. Just imagine, you should be ashamed to watch this. You only watched it because it almost turned into a fight. There's no value here. Shout out to Marcus, came in via Venmo. He writes, Corey has a complete victim mindset. He's also ignorant to the truth that 60 to 80% of the Africans in the slave trade were sold to Europeans by other Africans. Do you think most FBA think whites kidnapped their ancestors instead of purchasing them? I'd ask, what's the relevance of it? Who cares? Who cares? Here we are now. Now let's get after it. Let's figure out, where do we move from here? Who cares? I think it's completely irrelevant. Shout out to Mr. Foster. He writes, "Pieces, Saints. I've been a Patreon member for almost 2 years, but this is my first time supporting the live. I appreciate all the game you've given. Keep leading from the front, sir." I appreciate you. And shout out to those who actually support the work. Everybody else who doesn't, F you. You dig? F you. You mean nothing to me. Shout out to the real ones, because I'm going to tell you why. If Martin Luther King was around today, what you're doing today by just being in the audience while the revolution is occurring, you're in the stands watching while the game is going on instead of getting on the hardwood floor, you got to be ashamed. Like, I remember listening to, like, talking to my grandmother and my aunts, my great aunt, my grandmother. I asked her about Martin Luther King and all these figures who were alive during her era. She didn't have much to say about them. She wasn't very impressed. She benefited from some of the things they did, Malcolm, Medgar Evers, and all the rest of them. And then I talked to my aunt, her own sister. And my aunt said, yeah, I supported Medgar Evers. I used to do this, and this. And I was a part of SNCC. And I, campaigned for Bobby Kennedy. And I did this and I did that. Wow. You're the reason. My grandmother did nothing. I'd hate to be one of those people who were alive in revolutionary times, and I could have been with Che Guevara in the Sierra Maestra. I could have been with Malcolm X when he was still with the nation doing good works. I could have been at the I Have a Dream speech. I could have participated in lifting up my people, but instead I just hung back and babbled and gave commentary. Complained and suffered instead of doing something. Everything would change tomorrow if you guys were all proactive. How about this? Let me tell you how lazy you guys are. How brainless you are. I give real lectures on a regular basis about meaningful topics. You won't listen unless you get to laugh because you're stupid. Number 2, you know that YouTube is a censorship corporation. It won't let us express ourselves honestly. You can't get the truth. Will you go and watch on twitch.tv/Marquett Devon? No, you'll stay on YouTube because it's easy. That's why you stay in poverty, because it's easy. It's easier than getting up early, working hard every day, learning new things, learning how to use AI to create technology that will profit you. It's easy. Huh? Carrying on.
Democrats actually destroyed our cities from Chicago to Detroit, all across the board. We were taught to vote that no matter what. You vote Democrat no matter what.
I agree.
But this is the difference between the parties on a very fundamental level. Not complicated at all.
Really? You finna say there's a difference between the parties?
This is the difference.
I can't wait to hear this.
No. You may say that it's the same type of public politicians that take advantage of the taxpayers and take advantage of the people. The difference in the parties historically is Republicans want less government so you can do what the fuck you want to do. And Democrats want more control so they...
How did this become a conversation about Democrats and Republicans? I thought we were talking about black issues. Like, this is gross, bro. Nobody want to hear about this shit.
To do whatever he is willing to do, or they allow him to flat then go out. Understand voting don't work, right?
It does work.
How?
It does, but you just missed.
I guess Anton never heard of the APAC. He never heard of lobbying.
it. We have a list.
I heard everything you said. I can't wait till you tell me how voting makes a difference in this.
I took a degree in political science. I also used to work for the mayor of Baltimore. I still don't know how voting works. I still have no clue. And I'm deeply disturbed by the fact that everyone gets a vote. I find that to be bizarre. I don't know that everyone should get a vote. I think the votes of imbeciles cancel out the votes of people who are informed.
Country.
We have a less than 20% voter turnout rate in local.
Ain't nobody going for the sucker shit no more. We got to go.
You're missing it.
You got to uproot the people in power before a real difference happens. Voting is for suckers.
It's not.
I don't agree with either of them here. I think they're both wrong and they're both right at the same time.
People that don't vote are ignorant as fuck.
Well, I guess I'm ignorant because I would never.
Is it not? You're not even
we in the same joint.
I'm talking about locally. You mean that died for your right to be able to do it.
Your
That's what it first-
ancestors,
It's so funny to me.
didn't do it like this.
No,
because people went to war.
I find it peculiar that Anton Daniels is talking about ancestors. Your ancestors would never be Christians. You don't follow them in that. Ancestors are irrelevant. They're only useful when you can validate the political system of the white man. That's extraordinary. Your ancestors would never be white Christians like you. What is the validity of your ancestors? You're using your ancestors as a tool to justify the republic in the United States of America. Extraordinary. Anyways, shout out to Rooks, came in supporting the work via PayPal. Appreciate you. Okay, I think nobody's supporting it. That's something. Okay, I guess we're getting a little slow out here. Shout out to Reginald. He has some great backpack briefcases. You know, one thing I do is I teach people entrepreneurship. I teach them how to create product-based business, which is to say tangible products. I also teach people technology and various other things. And he has a fine product at mdblabel.com. It's a beautiful brown backpack briefcase. I own one myself. Actually, I own 4 of them. And you can also get it at thesassin.com, THESASN.com. Click products. And that money will not go to me. That will go straight to the young man, young black man in Atlanta, very smart young man, earning a way for himself. And those are the things that I'd rather focus on rather than is racism real? Who cares? Who cares? How do we get some dollars in black people's pockets? Because the black people's number one issue has not been figuring out if racism is real. It's not getting reparations because you're not getting it. It's getting out of poverty. And that is something that I've helped black people with for, I don't know, about 15 years now. About 15 years. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, Marquett. Carrying on.
Or when the government tried to overthrow the people and the power of the people, it was wars. There hasn't been a war inside the U.S. where the people who getting fucked over are doing something about motherfuckers with 30 felonies being the president. It's war. All sucker shit.
I gotta challenge that because black people, we don't have any problem with folks having a criminal record because to be well adjusted in a sick society is no measure of health. And similarly, to have no criminal record in a criminal society, which is to say to have no criminal record in a government that itself is a mafia, a criminal organization, is no achievement. In fact, some of our greatest heroes have criminal records. I mean, Mandela did damn near, 3 decades? Martin Luther King been to jail? Henry Thoreau been to jail? And so, someone having a felony in the United States of America's injustice system it means nothing to me. So I don't think that that's a valid point of deriding President Trump. I think there's an infinite number of other things we can deride him for. But again, we can see that he is just merely an expression of the system, which is to say that no matter if the president is black or white or orange, they all behave the same way. Interventionists, constant wars, never funding the things that matter in our society, never improving the culture such that we can lift ourselves out of low behaviors, alcoholism, ill health. They're always the same. Doesn't matter if they're black, white, orange, or Indian. Come on.
A war every day is just not physical anymore.
Well, that's the problem.
It's
we
here.
need physical wars.
It's not.
Until
It's our
motherfuckers ready to
ignorance.
jump it off,
It's not.
we gonna always
It's
be
not.
talking.
It's
But
not.
see, real gladiators don't talk. Real
No, it's
gladiators make it happen. And the gladiators, I ain't gonna lie, we are under control right now. We haven't rose up and did what needs to be done.
Who
But
are you under control by?
it ain't. You under control by the people who will motherfucking blow this motherfucker up. We ain't stupid.
Who is he? Because I want to know who.
Why do you think that ICE agent was able to shoot that
I want to
woman?
know who these.
I mean, that's a very good point. ICE is a great example. ICE is operating in the exact same way that the Gestapo operated in Germany. And there is every single obvious parallel for even casual observers of history. And the only difference is actually that we don't know where the concentration camps are, but surely they exist. And so We are living through a time in which the institutions in government and the independence of certain branches of government, and also the Fed, and also the fourth branch of government, the media, where it's becoming very blurry. Donald Trump right now is trying to bring criminal charges against Jerome Powell, which is really insane. And it only verifies that he is consolidating power in a way that has been unprecedented at the presidency. So when Anton suggests that we're not in a police state, which is not new with President Trump, this is fairly ludicrous. And this is true of all American citizens, everyday people. They're all within the police state: white, black, Latino, Asian, Indian, Arab. They're all in a police state. So what Mr. Daniels is doing is painting a picture that's rosier than the reality.
Hold on. Let's be real. Fuck that woman.
Well,
Whoa. What? This man has cursed so much, but I believe he has positioned himself as the intellectual in this conversation. I just must concede I'm not feeling it.
That's what you would say to somebody you don't know or whatever.
No.
I'm on
You
the
missing
streets.
it.
I've been pulled over by the police.
Who ain't on the streets?
Or the
I'm in
ICE
Detroit.
agents or whatever.
You in LA. I'm in Detroit. I'm in the blackest city in the United States of America. I can move anywhere I want to go. I choose to stay in the core of my city, and I choose to participate in my neighborhood. I choose to tithe to the streets, use my people. I put my money. So when we talking about being in the streets, that don't count to me. I don't
Well,
hear
that's
that
what
shit.
should count.
I don't hear that
because
shit.
out there in the streets where the people live that you helping,
One thing I will note in terms of escalation, certainly the foul language that Mr. Daniels is using, plus the escalated tone, the rapidity of his speech, are all things that can be perceived as aggressive. And we've been observing this level of agitation go on for nearly half an hour. And so when things boil over, I don't think that Mr. Daniels could claim innocence.
they could get pulled over and shot by a cop, and an investigation will be said. But here's the truth. We know, if I believe you know this already, when the cops shoot you, ain't nothing you can do about it.
That's correct. That's correct. And the data is overwhelmingly suggesting that there are favorable outcomes for the police. And we even have to ask ourselves, well, why is it that, number one, the police are legally allowed to lie to citizens? That shouldn't be the case. That's really bizarre. But the citizens are not legally allowed to lie to the government, right? They put you under oath and make sure that you're not lying. And then number two, we have to ask ourselves, why is it that if you assault a member of the government, like the consequences are so much higher, whereas if you assault a fellow citizen, the consequences are lower? I thought we were all equal. There's so many things that indicate that things are not quite as they should be. Shout out to William. He writes, I know this is off topic, but how is the fight lesson going? I'm scheduled for a discovery flight. Okay, got you. I'm scheduled for a discovery flight tomorrow. If you have any advice, that would be greatly appreciated. Oh, very good. I've been so busy. I really enjoy flying, and I'm definitely going to get back after it. I actually got enough land that I could build a landing strip here at the house if I wanted to. But what I'm really more interested in now, and it's really going to be more of a financial consideration, is we have eVTOLs or vertical flight vehicles, and more like drone-like. You'll probably still need significant knowledge, but they'll be lower cost than airplanes. They'll be easier to maintain than airplanes, and you can keep them at your house, and you probably don't really need a proper hangar. You just use a carport. And I think that is the future of personal aviation. And so I'm really holding off for that to become more accessible to everyday people, or not everyday people, but to wealthy people. So I think that's the near future. And I can't wait to be able to invest in some of these companies. None of them are public right now. Thank you for that question, and enjoy. And thank you to the folks supporting the work. Feel free to send in your support right here using the information below, because when it stops, we sign it off. Shout out to Heels In supporting the work via Venmo. May I also acknowledge Saudi came in supporting the work using the Stripe link in the description of the video. Appreciate you. Respect. Oh my God.
God, this is so crazy.
Do you think that's wrong what I
This
said?
is so insane.
Is that what I said? I
this
said
is
when the
so
cops
insane.
shoot you, ain't nothing you can do about it. Is that a lie?
This is so insane.
That's right.
But you didn't answer it.
I'm gonna answer your question.
Okay.
I'm gonna answer your question.
I want you all to notice that neither side of the argument has provided any references. So there's that.
It depends on the circumstance. And the interesting thing about it is this. The majority of the people, because you like to use a blanket statement. That's like me saying all black people.
Hold on there, Anton. Hold on there, Antonio. Did this nigga just say that Corey likes to use blanket statements after this nigga has given about 38, 39 blanket statements? No, that was crazy. No, that was actually crazy.
People are stupid.
Well, have you said all white people stupid?
No, I'm talking about cops.
You should say that one time.
I'm talking about
because
cops.
it's easy to say all black people.
Now, this is the first time we've observed Mr. Holcomb turn up his temperature. So we're now about, under a half hour in, and this is the first time Mr. Holcomb has turned up his volume, pace, and emotions. Now matching Mr. Daniels.
Stupid as an example. Say something about the white people.
No. You're not. I don't think you got people all the time.
Oh, well, I didn't hear you. Can you tell?
Someone in the chat writes, tried to donate on PayPal. You tried. Okay. Well, I appreciate your try. If you would like to be successful, we actually have various ways to support the work, and I'll give you a little bit of time because I understand sometimes things take time. In fact, there's a number of ways that you can support the work. You could use Venmo. You could use PayPal. You could use the Stripe link, which is just like making a regular purchase. And there's the link right there. It's pieceofthesaints.com. You could click the support button, or you can just type in pieceofthesaints.com/support. I'll give you guys a little bit of time to send in your comments, questions. Your support ties in tuition because you can't get it anywhere like you get it right here. If you guys support it, we'll carry it on. If you don't support it, then I guess you'll still carry on with your life and with your day, which I hope is a good day. Oh yeah, by the way, keep your ears open, your eyes peeled for when I come out with that reggae album. It's about to be really, beautiful music. I wrote a full album and really introducing new concepts, and you'll see that we're sharing like beautiful culture and beautiful encouraging messages in the music. Is going to be very healing music. I know a lot of people worry about things that they shouldn't be worrying about. And when you listen to this music, you're going to feel uplifted. You're going to feel stronger, I promise you. And it's good music. You're going to really enjoy it. And also a lot of the things that I've been penalized for saying, a lot of the truths, you're going to hear those in the music as well. So they're not going to stop me. You hear me? There's only one way for them to stop me. And when that time comes, it comes. But until then, I'm cutting up. You hear me? Yes, sir. Anyways. May I acknowledge, let's see, shout out to St. Clair came in using the Stripe link. Appreciate you, man. Also acknowledge. Shout out to Marcellus. It's good to see you, Marcellus. It's been a little while. Shout out to my young boy. Man, make sure you tap in with the section out there in Carolina. May I also acknowledge Mr. Dawson supporting the work using the Stripe link. Looks like someone came in via Cash App. Shout out to Niz, right, supporting the work. Peace of Saints. Appreciate you. See, where there's a will, there's a way. People just be pump faking out here. We're going to go ahead and wind this down shortly. So we'll do a little bit more. I see people out here freeloading, and I always say show love to those who show love to you. You heard me? I don't respect people freeloading. Shout out to those who are actually members, all of you, and shout out to those who have hit the like button.
I talk about liberal white women literally being the biggest enemy of the United States of America.
Who originated that concept online? I think that was Marquett Burton, but go off.
That's the thing I say every single day.
Caucasian female, the biggest enemy.
Literally, white liberal women are the worst that ever happened to this country.
What about their men?
But we gonna get there.
That's fair,
because
fair
you
enough,
keep trying to
fair
get me to
enough.
qualify it by participating and joining in on the core.
No, I think you're doing what's easy.
No. I'm doing what's real.
I think you don't want to go against them because if you go against them, it'll be some video of you going.
It's not what's easy. It's what's profitable. And I can't hate Anton for doing that. I mean, he's a good businessman. Shout out to Anton. I'm very proud of him. I never knock the hustle. You dig? I don't knock the hustle at all. So shout out to Anton, but he's doing what's profitable.
Against them. And when I say them, I'm talking about your boss.
I don't have a boss.
We say that. We say that. But here's the truth.
I don't have a boss.
It's a reason you go after black males or black people quicker than you will go after white males. What are white males responsible for in this country as the downfall
I'm an
of
equal
it?
accountability smoke giver. I talk about everybody.
I'm just saying, I ain't heard you talk about white men
Well, you
since
ain't
you've
been
been up
listening.
here.
You ain't been listening. You ain't been listening.
I've been listening to you.
No, you haven't.
I hear you
don't
taking
have,
the.
You don't have.
Nah, I've been listening, and I have also not heard you talk about white men. Not that I think you need to. I don't think you have to, but I've not heard you talk about white men. So I'm going to have to go ahead and sign off. I'm going to have to sign off on what Corey said.
Have the capacity to be able to listen because you're too busy.
No. You got me wrong.
You too busy.
My capacity, that you just criticized, that's an opinion. Here's the fact. Have you seen something about Caucasian males and how they
Absolutely.
destroy this nation? Well, what did I miss?
Let's slow down because you're
don't
talking
slow
loud,
down.
but you're not saying a lot.
No, you talking loud,
you talking loud.
and you still talking around.
So Anton hit him with two insults. He said, one, you don't have capacity. That's an insult. Then number two, so you're talking loud, but you're not saying anything. Or you're just saying you're a babbling fool. So Anton's hitting him with a couple insults. And you know what? They're in person, face to face. So I'm going to go ahead and say, shout out to Anton. Like, bro's really saying, like, what up with that smoke, though? Like, what's up with the smoke? I'm going to say low key, Anton's been kind of disrespectful for the entirety of the show. So he for sure has asked for some smoke. Like, if smoke occurs, it ain't come out of nowhere. He's been earning it.
What did the Caucasian male do to America to bring it down?
I'm not getting into that.
You dancing around it. And that's why I lose respect for you when you start dancing and kissing.
So you could talk about the black people, but when he said, well, what did the white man do? Then you're like, I'm not getting into that. No, I'm not getting into that. Poppycock. I'm not getting into pish posh. I'm not getting into that. I will not talk about the white man. I'm not getting into that. That's what the hell? Why can't we get into it, my boy? Why we can't get into it? We get into everything else. Why we can't get into that? That's weird. That's very weird. That's very strange. I do believe that Mr. Holcomb may have just pulled his card. I believe he may have pulled his card successfully.
Caucasian male do to America to bring it down.
I'm not getting into that.
You dancing around it. And that's why I lose respect for you when you start dancing and kissing Caucasian male's ass.
But I don't.
Don't do that in front of me because I'm not an ass kisser of nobody.
Yes, you are. You suck the dick of
Will you-
black people right now. You doing the easy shit.
Wait, I beg your pardon? I beg your pardon? You said I suck what? My nigga? I suck what? Hold on. Hey, baby, get up. Move out the way. Move that furniture. Yeah, move that furniture. Hey, turn the cameras off. Nigga, what you say? Now, that was crazy. That was unnecessary. You went too far. I'd say an apology is warranted at this time. An apology is absolutely warranted at this current time. Apologies for sure warranted. Shout out to Mr. Hampton, came in using the Stripe link. Anton just said this man sucks wee-wee. Sucks wee-wee? Listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. In jail, that'll get you killed off rip. And you can't even apologize. You just that'll get you killed off rip. In New York is the only place where people say stuff like that and it doesn't get you killed. That's why I don't really like New Yorkers like that. Because they pop off at the mouth so crazy. And I've always tried to figure out what that's about. Because say there's like 0 to 10. Like 0 is peace and 10 is hell on earth, right? You unleash like utter wickedness on somebody. The things that a New Yorker says, it's like level 8 stuff. But they don't fight until level 10. On the West Coast, we fighting at level 5. Somebody say some level 5 stuff, we gonna have to throw these hands. In New York, they'll be like, yeah, fuck your mother. Yeah, and suck my. And they grabbing their crotch and all this extra stuff like they're a WWF wrestler. Like they say the wildest stuff over there and still don't fade up. It's just bizarre. I don't know if it's because they're just so packed in. They got to be aggressive and like, I don't know. Like on the West Coast, like you would never say that. I've never heard a West Coast person say something like that. But I always hear that in the East Coast. Yes, yeah, suck mutt. It was like, nah, hold on, my boy. Absolutely not. No. What are you talking about? What did that have to do with this whole conversation? Now, at this point, you can see the look on Corey's face. I think he's going through some algorithms and some niggonometry. He's going through some niggonometry to figure out, like, did this nigga just say that I had a cockaroni sandwich? Cockaroni and cheese? Huh. Did this man just ask me if I had a sandwich today that had some Oscar Mayer wieners on it? Very peculiar. What is going on with this man? I think he's trying to just figure out, like, did I hear what I think I just heard? Huh. Peculiar. Shout out to Joshua came through. Via Venmo, he writes, just showing love and support. Excuse the non-baller alert. I'm a bit thin at the moment working on business. Peace to Saints. Hey, it'd be like that. I think this is this man's first non-baller alert, which is also baller. Shout out to Joshua. Love to hear people doing deals. I also acknowledge Good Sir came back via Venmo. He writes, what are the 3 sites to cop merch? mdblabel.com. And what else? Also, are all the products on peaceofthesaints.com good to order? Yes, and that money will go to the people who have those products. The best place to see all the products that are created by people just like you, which is to say the viewer, and the money goes to people just like you, people I taught entrepreneurship. The best place to go is to thesassin.com. That's THESASN.com. Click products, and it'll be people just like you. I'm listing their products, sometimes with my brand name, sometimes my designs, but the money goes to them. I taught these folks entrepreneurship. You go to school.com/Marquett, click courses. There's a course called How to Create Your Own Product-Based Business with $500 or less. And we teach entrepreneurship. People have real products. They're making real money. Beautiful thing. Thank you for asking. But also you can go to manandwomanbrand.com. This is Man and Woman Brand. It's a brand about the natural pairing of man and woman. It's like the opposite of the rainbow flag. You dig? Yes, indeed. The good peoples of the earth. We need something to represent us as well. I also acknowledge Ryan came in using the Stripe link. We appreciate you. Shout out to the real ones who support the work. Carrying on.
What you do? Let me tell you what you do.
Nah, homie, let me tell you something, homie.
I don't tell you.
I don't
Ain't nobody
suck
gonna tell you
dick.
to-
I don't suck dick.
Wait, hold on. Wait, what? Did he say, yeah, you do? Did he say, yeah, you do twice? Oh, hell nah. Boy, if you, listen, man, I'd have turned into Bone Crusher. Yeah, for my old heads, I'd have turned into Bone. As soon as I said, I don't suck, and he said, yeah, you do. Wait, what, nigga, what? Man, I'd have been out here like Bone Crusher. I ain't never scared. Boy, I would have been on his ass. Pause. Listen, before when I was watching, I was like, I'm glad they didn't fade up. It wasn't even necessary. When the nigga said, I don't suck, D-I-C-K, and you said, yeah, you do 2 times, I would have pile drive his little ass for that. Boy, nigga, you done went too far. Nah, you done went above your pay grade with that one, partner. Yeah, you do. Nigga, what? You oughta whooped his ass for that. Straight like that. You crazy? You oughta whooped his ass. Nigga, listen, I would have been so ambitious about whooping his ass. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I wouldn't have even thought to tell Shorty to get out the way. Yeah, I'd have whooped his ass. Woo! That would have sent me over. It would have sent me over. That would have, when he said, yeah, you do, like he witnessed it or something. That would have sent me over. That's crazy. Yeah, you do. You mean, yeah, you do. That was insane. Said, I respect him standing on it. Damn, I don't even respect it though, because it's like, that wasn't necessary. You hear me? Like, that wasn't necessary. It's like, God damn, like, why are we just starting up issues like that unnecessarily? Shout out to David, came in supporting the work using the Stripe link. Nigga said, yeah, you do. Why? What is that about? Nigga said, yeah, you do. Like he witnessed them at a Diddy party going, yay. Anyways, looks like we had, okay, so the PayPals have come through. Shout out to Omari, came in via Venmo. He writes, for your time and insight, I appreciate you. May I also acknowledge Jamshi. Shout out to Jamshi. Writes, MDB 2028. Listen, Brody, that's the year of the revolution, man. We creating a revolution. I'm not running for office. I also want to state something about the blacks. You know, people say, Marquett, you're the guy leading the blacks. No, I'm leading everybody. We're going to get this done. But with regards to the blacks in particular, I want you guys to understand this. Anton was correct when he said the blacks are foolish and they let fools lead them. It's true. And that's precisely why we are going to organize and we're going to outperform and then we're going to use force because some of them are too stupid to know what a good thing is. You heard me? So we really going to have to thug our way through because they don't know what's best for them. You heard me? So it is what it is. Desperate times call for desperate measures. These are revolutionary times. Just let it be known right now. So, hey, I'm telling you right now, you could get with it or get hurt. It's one or the other. Shout out to John. Came in by Venmo. He writes, can't wait the entire live. Appreciate the game. Stay dangerous. Oh, man, I got to out here. Shout out to Christopher. Writes, what? Okay, I actually read that one. Email's acting a little funny. Christopher writes, haven't caught a live in a while. Hope all is well. All is fantastically well. Thank you for asking. Shout out to Brad. He writes, you are the greatest of black people. I'm honored to learn from you. I appreciate that. And shout out to Brad. Shout out to the real ones. Real recognize real. There's levels to this. Mr. Cohen writes, I hope you'll do the presentation on how Lincoln didn't care about the slaves, the blacks, for the members. I'm sure many of us would love to see it. Yeah, absolutely. The members are higher intelligence people. Shout out to Brandon writes, for the big homie. Yeah. Shout out to Frankie. He writes, peace to the saints. How has the transition been since moving to the South? What would be pros and cons of living on the West Coast compared to the South? Much love from Tampa. Stay blessed. You know what? It's been no major transition because it's hustle mania. You feel me? So it's like when I'm in at the house, I'm just working. So it'd really be the difference between living in an urban environment versus a plantation on acreage. And I really love it because I go outside, it's fresh air. I go for a run on my own property. I get to host you guys. That reminds me, I need to text my guy to come put some lines on my football field. You heard me? He said he got a new technology that'll make the lines there permanent. That's beautiful. So remind me to hit him up. But it's been great. I haven't lived on the West Coast in a long time, my boy. So I graduated undergrad in '09. I haven't lived in the West Coast, but then I went back and lived in Hollywood in 2013. So I haven't been, maybe stay there till 2015. I haven't been on the West Coast living for a while. The taxes are crazy. So I've been staying up out of there. Anyway, shout out to Mr. Williams supporting the work. Came in via PayPal. Appreciate you. May I also acknowledge Devontae writes, Peace of Saints. Corey did not want the fade. No, sir. Okay, we're going to take a look. We're going to take a look, see what it do. Shout out to Andre writes, tuition. May I also acknowledge Frank came in via PayPal. He writes, I made it to class early today. Let's get to work, homie. Peace of Saints, Assassin, Houston. Oh, I see the PayPals. Oh, PayPal is shiesty. They've been holding these back. Okay, I see them all now. I see them all. PayPal, these guys are jokesters. Okay, cool. Carrying on. And this is really interesting. This is very interesting because, to say who does and doesn't want the fade is kind of hard to say sometimes. It's kind of hard to say. Sometimes people are waiting for you to fire on them so they can shoot you and kill you. May look like they don't want the fade. Maybe they just want to kill you. Some people really don't want the fade, but they're huffing and puffing. Some people don't want the fade because they know they're going to go too far. They trying to do you a favor and not take the fade. Some people don't want to mess up the studio. They don't want to break up the studio, like throwing these hands. So there's some complexity to it. But let's take a look. So far, I don't think Corey doesn't want the fade. So far. Does Anton Daniels want the fade? I don't know. He hasn't indicated that he doesn't want the fade. I'm going to tell you that much. He's not indicated that he doesn't. I don't perceive him to be that kind of guy, but here's the important thing. I don't know Anton Daniels. You don't know Anton Daniels. You might know his content, but you don't know him, just like you don't know me. And that's why I don't, do the goofy thing of acting like I know strangers. You hear me? Maybe he completely about that life. He might have a whole brick of cocaine up that pure right on his kitchen table right now. You hear me? Got the slurs cooking it up. I don't know. So it seems like they both want the fade. I'm going to rewind it, though, because Brody just said something crazy. Was he pointing at the nigga, too? Look at this.
Black people right now, you doing the easy shit. What you do?
Well, I think Corey was like getting mental. Like you saw his microphone shaking. Look at this. Look at Corey microphone shaking. Now, some people might say, oh, he was scared. His microphone was shaking. Nah, hell nah. Sometimes your ass is just trying to maintain control before you turn into the Hulk. You heard me? So I know niggas. This is one crazy nigga from my hood called Darrell. This nigga in middle school, he would start crying before every fade. Niggas start crying, and then start going water boy on shit. You dig? Niggas go through different processes. I ain't underestimating nobody. That's why I'm packing it out straight away. That's just me, though. You heard me? I ain't about to wait for nobody to get off. I don't care how big. I'm going in.
Dick of black people right now.
Whoa.
You do. Yes, you are. You suck the dick of black people right now. You doing the easy shit.
Now look at Corey. Let's see the microphone shake right here.
What you do? Let me tell you what you do.
Nah, let me tell you something, homie.
Ain't nobody gonna tell you.
I don't
Ain't nobody
suck
gonna tell
dick.
you to,
I don't suck dick.
Yeah, you do.
So
Bro said, yeah, you do. 2 times. Oh, hell nah, bro. I can't lie to you. That would have got me. The first, just the statement, I'd have just took it off of like, nah, he just said some wild stuff. And I'm like, bro, don't come at me like that, my boy. And then we say, yeah, you do. I would have just blacked out. I wouldn't have remembered nothing. I'd have just like, by the time I came back to my senses, it'd have been blood everywhere. Yeah, everywhere. Like red wine everywhere. Because I'd have lost it. That's crazy. Don't you ever talk to nobody like that in your whole life. That's crazy. Don't ever do that. It's not necessary. Anyways, let me acknowledge some of the good people who have supported the work. You dig? Show love to those who show love to you. Shout out to Patrick, came in supporting the work. He writes, just recently got revenge on one of my enemies and a higher paying job. Oh, isn't that beautiful? He writes, life is looking up. I like to do things to your enemies as well, big homie. Shout out to Chris. Thank you. And I love you, big homie. I appreciate that. And you know what? I got a lot of I don't have a lot of enemies, but I got 3 of them that they got to go. They got to go. One of them is, his name is Greg. I'm trying to remember his last name. I'm actually suing him right now. Real estate guy. He tried to steal a bunch of money from me. It's insane. He's not going to get away with it, though. Shout out to Iram. She writes, Assalamu alaikum. I pray you are well, inshallah. I appreciate that. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I also acknowledge Wayne came in supporting the work. Also, shout out to Keon supporting the work. Writes, Peace of the Saints via PayPal. Shout out to Miles. Writes, Peace of the Saints. Good to see you are alive, Mr. Burton. I hope you and your family are good. We are good. I appreciate that. And you know what? Most of us are good. People worry too much. I want to encourage all of you guys, don't worry. Everything's going to work out. He writes, your perspective is great on this subject. When I saw this clip, all I was thinking was swing first. And also, what is Trump's true motive for wanting Greenland? Geopolitical, geostrategic relevance? Shout out to Jonathan. And by the way, Trump needs to take Greenland now. What I wouldn't do if I was Trump, I wouldn't even give the Europeans time to put any installations there. I'd take it now before they can make a move and make it easier on everybody. I wouldn't wait for the Germans and the French and the Danish to put troops there. Take it now before they can get in position so they at least have an excuse to fold, right? It's really silly that he's waiting and just doing all this babbling because if he's a real one, he's going to take it. If he doesn't take it, I think he's actually going to look bad. Shout out to Jonathan. Right. So what is one new thing you are trying this year? Oh, that's a good question. One new thing I'm going to try in 2026. Oh, actually, I have a really big new thing I'm going to try, but I'm not going to say it publicly if you don't mind. May I acknowledge Dwayne? He writes, I understand people typically don't change, but if a male is serious about becoming a man, where should he start? It depends on where he's at, right? It's like if you're saying, hey, Marquett, I'd like to get to the Himalayas. What do I do next? I say, well, where are you? I have to know where you are to help you route a path there. Shout out to Wayne. He writes, good breakdown. Keep it going, sir. I'd say the best tool that I could offer you, twofold. The black box, I think, is a great guide generally, but when you read books, you're not often being as active in questioning yourself. You're usually questioning the text. What is the author trying to tell me? You're getting wrapped up in the story. So the black box is a good guide. However, I think Boss University is the best in pushing you into manhood and also being around great men, being around models in real life is priceless. Shout out to Gerard. Came in supporting the work via PayPal. Shout out to Darren. Good to see you again, Darren. He writes, tuition, I agree. It's hard to listen to any of these podcasters off after following you for so long. Piece of saints. Ain't that the truth, man? Shout out to Miles. He writes, we members at least need that legendary presentation on Abe Lincoln. The truth must be said because most of these content creators are bought and paid for. Bruh, you ain't lying. Little buddy over here talking about the Democrats like he is on payroll for real, for real. Goddamn. I kind of cut it down the middle. And I piss off all of the sides, so I haven't gotten a check yet. I'm waiting for somebody said I was getting a check from Qatar. I'm like, they need to hit your boy up. I like the Qataris. I've been to Qatar many times. Where's the check at? Holla at your boy. I got to go buy me a yarmulke. I show up with a little yarmulke on, see if I can get some of that that Israeli money. Gentleman further writes, how do you argue for left or right when both are not for the American people? That part. IQ is dropping rapidly day by day. Shout out to Sage supporting the work, came in via PayPal. I also acknowledge Fresh Cuts, writes Piece of Saints tuition. They both have terrible points, in my opinion. I can't entirely disagree. Shout out to Wayne. He writes, it's all entertainment, no substance. Yes, that's why everyone's here. Shout out to Edgar, came in supporting the work. Shout out to the European Saints. Wayne writes, if you permit, please keep it going. Well, yeah, we're going to have to finish this one up. That's for damn sure. Shout out to Solomon. He writes, Piece of Saints, may God bless you, big homie. Keep going out. Giving out this good game. Sir, I can't help it. Shout out to Mr. Kenyatta. He writes, Piece of Saints, lucky to catch the end of this live, sending tuition. Is it too late to join the AI practicum? And if not, is there a certain total number of sessions that there are to be? Mr. Kenyatta, I highly encourage you to join. We've done 2 sessions so far. And just to keep it a bean with you, my goal when I do anything is to over deliver. I want people to be like, damn, man, like I want you to feel like when you're buying it, I want you to feel like, man, this is expensive. I want you to feel that way. And when you finish the course after each session, I want you to be like, God damn, like I didn't know this. Like this is life-changing. This is exciting. This is fun. I can tell I'm learning real things. I'm creating. And that's the feeling we get. The first session we did for the practicum was a 7-hour session, 7 hours straight through. Then the second session we did was a 5-hour session. The only reason we stopped because I had another engagement. Did a 5-hour session. And we have many, many more sessions to go. And what we do is we build technology. We also look at 3 different technical products that are at 3 different stages so that you can understand how do you develop them using AI, no code, but also how do you market and sell them and make money? We look at the back end. Most of you have never seen the data back end of a technology. Like if you worked at Facebook, what does the back end look like where they can see all of the users, they can see all of the transactions, all the communications? How do they manage the business side of it? So those are the things that I take you through. It's a huge value. In fact, a young lady just joined the course earlier today. So yeah, absolutely. Because the great thing about the practicum, you can do it live with us. You know, it's like a cohort of about 30 or so people. You can ask your questions, you know, participate and what have you, but also you can watch it afterwards. So for the first 2 sessions, if you check on school.com and go on the practicum course, there's pages of notes written out. You also have the PowerPoint presentation. You also have the spreadsheet attached, and you have the video. So you can, of course, catch up if you so choose, or you can just show up and get after it. Carrying on.
Doing it right now.
I don't suck dick,
You doing it right now.
Homie, believe me when I tell you, I don't
Believe me
do
when
that.
I tell you.
I don't do that.
Listen.
So don't come at me with no dick.
So right there, you can see that Corey is being very clear, and he's saying like, hey, partner, like knock it off with this. And for some weird reason, Anton is persisting, like he's convinced that he just saw Corey take knee pads off right before he sat down. This is the most strange thing. He's very persistent.
I'm gonna give you the same energy you give me.
Now that's weird because Anton said, I'm going to give you the same energy you give me. I can say objectively, now mind you, I haven't met either of them. I don't get money with either of them. I've not collaborated with either of them. My team has reached out to both of them. I haven't heard from either one. So like we have no reason for me to go to either side. I did meet Anton Daniels in person. I was in the Wynn in Las Vegas, in Saint City, Las Vegas. And, you know, he had walked up to me and said, hey man, you know, I watch your stuff. I like your stuff. And he was very cordial, as I would expect him to be based on the way he conducts himself. And my assistant had followed up with him after that. And then another person on my team had followed up more recently. We've never heard anything from him. So we don't have any particular, reason for me to favor or not favor him. And same thing with Corey. One of my team members, I reached out a while back to 5150 show, didn't hear anything back. So I have no reason to favor or not favor either one of them. I'm just trying to cut it down the middle as I see it. Now, when Anton says, I'm giving you the energy you're giving me, I feel like, I don't know. I don't know, Mr. Daniels. I think that you're giving him more energy than he's giving you. So I think that truly Mr. Holcomb is more reactionary at this point. I think that you're essentially driving the dynamic, in other words, Mr. Daniels. Okay. Is Corey pushing Shorty? Like, is his hand on Shorty right there? But what I'm kind of curious about, like, I don't know, Shorty probably didn't grow up in the hood, because I know many a hood bitches, and I hate to say it like that, but that's what it is. I know many hood bitches that, like, as soon as like they start going back and forth like that, Shorty would have got up and just walked off, because you in a line of fire, you dig? Like, I wouldn't have wanted to sit there my damn self, you dig? Especially if I ain't involved in the smoke. So shout out to Corey for, you know, closing that gap. And to me, so far, that is the most aggressive move that has happened. Now, I tell you this right here, because I'm not an internet nigga. As soon as bro would have got up, I would have packed him out straight up. I'd have packed his ass up right there. And you're like, Marquett, with the broad sitting there? Yeah, she'd have been a part of the collateral damage. I'd have packed his ass up as soon as he'd have got up talking about, hey, move. I'm like, whoa, my boy, what you trying to do? Yeah, I'd have packed his ass up. Yeah, it'd have been a real issue right then and there. And that's not being a tough guy. That's just what it is, growing up where I grew up. I'm sure a lot of you niggas grew up in Philly, grew up in Carroll City, grew up in Southside Chicago, grew up in San Francisco, grew up in Oakland, grew up in wherever you grew up. You'd have probably did the same thing. I mean, tell me I'm wrong. Nigga get up talking about, hey, shorty, get out the way. I'm like, whoa, what you coming over here for, partner? Let me show you something. Anyways, let's take a look, see. Now, here's the weird thing to me. I ain't going to lie to you. Anton Daniels is still sitting down. I'm going to go ahead and say, ain't no way I'm going to just tell you 5 times that you're a meat blower, that you blow meat, and you going to start standing up, and I'm going to just be sitting down like it's like we about to play chess or something, like we about to play Dungeons and Dragons. Like, bro, knock it off. You are insane. You're just waiting to get your jaw broken. That is so strange. Why would anybody do that? Right now, go ahead, send in your ties, tuitions, and comments. I want to know, do you think that Anton should have fired off on Brody? Do you think that one of them was scared or not scared? I don't think Anton was scared. I just think he like A, isn't like that, and B, doesn't have survival instincts. Like, I don't think he really been a part, like involved in nothing. Cause my spidey senses, like right here, and this image right here, oh, my spidey senses would have been going crazy. I'd have had to fire him, bro. I'd have had to, Mando. I saw somebody wrote, he's not scared. He just decided to play it cool. He's playing it cool. Listen, niggas don't be having survival instincts, bro. This nigga, shout out to my boy Anton Daniels. This nigga grew up in the middle class. This nigga used to wear a school uniform. Cause ain't nobody in the history of niggas is gonna tell somebody that they put Vienna sausages in their mouth. You reiterated 3 times that bro be putting sausages in his mouth like they Jimmy Dean's. And then you just sit there and look my man's in his eyes. That's craziness. My man's survival instincts are non-existent. There's just no way I'd be sitting in that chair waiting for him to fire on me and tip me over in that computer chair. Ain't no way in hell. Ooh, ain't no way in hell. That's crazy. Shout out to Quat, right? Pieces Hates came by PayPal. Also acknowledge Lee. He writes, been a subscriber for a month or 2, and I've seen enough to invest and become a member of the Saints. Where do I go and start the process? Absolutely. And we welcome you, Lee. Go to peacetothesaints.com. That's a new site. Once you sign in, definitely make sure you click around. We have a lot of new features there. We have something embedded where you can write your goal and edit your goal and also track your activities toward achieving your goal. Because my thing is I want to see you more prosperous and more happy every day of your life. That's our goal. We also have a chat at the bottom. If you hit it, there's a live chat, a lot of like built-in features that you're going to absolutely love. I also acknowledge Frank. He writes, PayPal seems to be working. Also get the links, the likes up. The disrespect is real. Tell me about it. Shout out to Akash, writes, watching on Twitch. Everyone else should be doing the same. Peace of the Saints. I appreciate you. Shout out to Akash. Shout out to those folks who actually are a part of this thing of ours. We all head in the same direction, which is upward and onward. Shout out to Mr. Gardner, writes, Peace of the Saints tuition. Marquettism is for the kids. Marquettism saves lives, bro. You ain't never lied. And Marquettism definitely would have saved Anton Daniels because it looks like he is about to get fired on. Shout out to Wayne. He writes, Anton must have forgot repeating such violations would result in this outcome. Here's the thing, though. If he grew up in the burbs, you heard me? If he grew up in the suburbs, some people ain't never been socked out before. I've never been socked out, but I've definitely been jumped 2 good times. You heard me? Now, I've caught a lot of fades. But I won. I caught a lot of fades, but I also got jumped 2 good times. And I also got stabbed up 1 good time as well. So I'm keenly aware that there are consequences for your actions. Also consequences for other actions. I got stabbed up, not even because of something I did. The homie did some wild stuff. I was there though. I was watching, but I was innocent. I actually saved it. It's a long story. But anyways, this nigga Anton Daniels has the survival instincts of a white girl from Orange County. This nigga big tripping right now. Shout out to Austin. He writes, how long did it take for you to get good? So were you consistent after you started? The beginning was slow, but after that I was pretty proficient. It's definitely something worth investing in. The process is fun. Shout out to Andre. He writes, Peace of Saints. I would appreciate your feedback on my store. He has the URL right there. Is the store clean and easy to navigate? Is the store a good representation of the chest bag? How can I best showcase the bag quality and features? Okay, let's set that one aside. Hopefully I can remember and knock that one out at the end of this live chat. So let me save that one. Okay, and I always love talking business. It'll be educational and edifying for the people who haven't yet started their business journey. Shout out to, people want financial freedom, but they don't want to do anything, right? They don't want to invest. They don't want to try anything. Shout out to Harold, right? Supporting the work came in via Venmo. Appreciate you. My boy Anton Daniels is sitting there like he's in a waiting room. Like he's waiting to get socked. Like, hey, what are you waiting on? Waiting to get socked. That is crazy. Shout out to Carlos. Supporting the work using the Stripe link. Might as well acknowledge Kareem came in using the Stripe link as well. Shout out to Jamar came through. Appreciate you. And shout out to Constantine, always consistent. That's my man's right there. Okay. Back to Anton Daniels. This man is lounging. This man, I damn near would have to feel offended if I was Corey. Like, how in the hell this nigga doesn't feel threatened at all? Even if I didn't plan on firing on him, now I have to. This nigga is playing with my manhood right here. That's crazy.
I'm with it, homie. I don't
Let me rewind this. Look at this right here.
Give you the same energy you give me.
Let's switch.
Now he said, I'm going to give you the same energy you give me, which is patently false because so far Anton has been driving the dynamic in terms of cursing, vulgarity, voice raising, and aggressive tonation. I think the number of F-bombs Anton has dropped is just not even comparable to what Corey has. Furthermore, he says, I'm going to match your energy. So if that was the case, when Holcomb comes standing up, you should for sure stand up. That would match his energy. So the lie detector test turned out that was a lie. But anyways, let's go ahead, take a look here.
switch seats. I'm with it.
Nah, bro pushed her. Nah, he want the fade. I know that feeling. I know that feeling to where your ass be so locked in. You're just rude. You didn't push the broad. Oh, I know that feeling. I've been there before. You see how he pushed the broad? Nah, he wanted his fade. Nah, can't nobody tell me that Corey Holcomb did not want to get fade. No, he wanted a fade ski. You look at how he pushed the little lady right here. Check this out.
I'm gonna give you the same energy you give me.
Let's look at bro.
I'm with it.
He done pushed her out the way.
I don't do no.
Now look at how close bro got. Like, bro is comfortable. I don't never want to be that comfortable with me. Look at this. So look at Anton.
I'm with it.
Look at Anton. Anton said, I'm with it. He's still sitting down. He hold up to the microphone. Nigga, unless you about to use that as a weapon, you ain't with it, my boy. You ain't no way you with it unless you holding that like it's a weapon. Now look at how close bro is. Look at this. I would advise everybody, okay? I would advise each and every one of you that this is, you don't never want to be in this position right here. You see, because you don't have leverage. Even if Anton wanted to punch Corey from this position, you don't have leverage to throw a proper punch. He's going to rain down punches on you, and you're wearing glasses too. You don't want to get punched in the face and have glasses break and cut your eyes, blind your goofy ass. Like, nah, hell nah, this is all bad. Nah, that's all bad. That's an L right there. This is a major violation. In assassin boot camp and assassin security training, we would never in life let you go out like this, my boy. Your manly instincts, forget the spidey senses. Your manly instincts are off right now. Yeah, absolutely not. And listen, man, I'm gonna have to start riding around with security. You dig? Just so we could prevent things like this. Because me personally, this would have been a fade, but it would have messed up all my podcast money. Because like, oh, this nigga be fighting on the podcast. I ain't trying to go out like that. Because I ain't gonna let nobody play me out. Because the problem is what happens is that people just assume you're not like that. And then they create like dangerous situations. That's why I don't respect the kid from the whatever podcast. Because, you know, he put me and Adam in a dangerous situation. Because I already know I'm going to go up. You dig? So he thought it was just like internet. Like, nah, not everybody's an internet guy. So me personally, I prefer to just do the podcast, skip the BS, skip the antics, you know. But this position right here, like this is an L for Anton Daniels. This is an L. Like you have another grown man standing over you. Nah, hell nah, that don't feel right. No sirree, Bobby. I don't think there's any man that feels like that's the position you want to be in. Shout out to Andre. He writes, I also sent the link to the store. I did get it. He writes, I believe the store is cleaner on a cell phone. You know, I'd be curious as to where most of your clients will be coming from. Who knows? Shout out to Das. He writes, pieces thanks to the big homie. Appreciate you. Shout out to the real ones. Carrying on. Yes, indeed. This man is towering over Mr. Anton Daniels. Mr. Anton Daniels is still there holding the podcast microphone. Perhaps as a last-ditch effort to use a weapon. Who knows? We're about to find out.
I don't do no dick sucking shit. I'm a motherfucking man.
So now what? So Corey is aggressive in his face. Anton Daniels, I would say, is not matching his energy. If we're using his term, that's a fine timepiece you have there, Mr. Anton Daniels. Now, me personally, if I sock somebody out, I feel obligated to take their stuff. It's just protocol. You know, I gotta get that watch up off you. I don't even need it. I don't want it. I don't even need it. I gotta take your shoes. Doesn't even matter if they're my size. I need them. It's protocol. I'm not wasting sock outs. That's just me. I'm not wasting sock outs. I'm gonna go by the protocol. I'm gonna keep it by the book. You hear me? Yeah. If I gotta test your jaw, I need them sneakers. You need to wake up half dressed. You dig? That's just me though. That's just me. We ain't wasting sock outs.
Man, I don't do no dick sucking shit.
I don't give a fuck about none
Well,
of
I tell you what.
This is evil. This is pure evil.
What's that dick sucking shit? Because that'll go bad.
Call it what you want.
Now Anton's over here like, call it what you want. Nah, my boy. No, my boy. We ain't calling it what you want. No, we calling it what it is. You said, now this is why I'm glad I wasn't there. I'm glad I wasn't there, man. Because I'd have been in the background dying laughing, not even trying to instigate. I just think it's funny. I think it's funny. I don't instigate though, because that ain't right. But I would have been like trying not to laugh because I don't want to hear no like, call it what you want. No. You said that my boy be eating wee-wees. You said he eats wee-wees. You said that. Don't back down now.
I don't do no dick sucking,
You
homie.
say a lot of shit that I don't fuck with either. You
Okay, but that gay shit. Oh, you
I don't
go.
give a fuck about what you talking
Hey,
about.
homie, I tell you what.
I'm right here.
Don't put
You
no
switching
dick
seats
sucking
don't mean
shit.
to me.
Don't put no
I'm from
dick sucking
Detroit,
shit on me, nigga.
I'm from
This is one of my favorite things about women. They just be shorty pretending she ain't there. She like, you know what? These niggas right here, these niggas is over here with this bullshit again. She acting like she at the barbecue when her uncles start getting drunk. Her uncles get drunk and start arguing. She just act like she ain't there. She's like, this reminds me when I used to go to the park on the 4th of July with my uncles, and they get to drinking and start cussing and fighting. Oh, man. Love it. She ain't even looking at him. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Detroit,
Say
right
I
now.
suck a dick again.
I'm right here.
Now, right there, at that point where bro says, say I suck up again, if I was Anton Daniels, that would have been point number 2 where I'd have had to just bing, tee off on him. I'd have had to. Bing. I'd have had to tee off on him. Would have had to. I would have had to. Say I suck. Bing. I wouldn't have said no. We passed that, little buddy. Say I suck again. Bing. Yeah, I'd have tried to tee off. And you know, the key is to when the jaw is open while they're talking, that's when you bing. Try to break it. Yeah, that's I would have just as soon as you'd have said that. Yeah, that's it. That would have been a beautiful time for it. That's when I would have, that'd have been, but I'd already did it when he got up. That's just me though. But that was the second opportunity. As I say that. Now I tell you what, if you already said something and he says, say it again, and you don't say it again, you don't want to smoke. You don't want to smoke. And that's okay, because the goal here is not to fight. They didn't show up to fight. They showed up to have a podcast. I respect that. But he didn't want to smoke. It'd be a lie to say he did. Because listen, man, I've seen many a times where a nigga showed up off of some say it again, and the nigga just said it again. And then ensue from there. I must admit, in very few situations in my life have I ever seen somebody say it again, and the person didn't even either tee off or say it again. I guess I just grew up around some wild niggas. When nobody's scared. That's why when all these internet dudes be like, nigga, I'm 6'4", 240. I'm like, nigga, don't nobody care about none of that. Nigga, you could be 7'8". We taking off. Don't nobody care about that. You telling me your dating profile. I don't need to know none of that. Just let me know what the issue is. You hear me? Like, I've never been in person and saw somebody say it again, and then the other person didn't say nothing. I never seen that in real life. I've only seen niggas go up after that, but that's just me. LA, Westside, Denver Lane. That's just me.
Don't put no dick sucking shit on me, nigga.
I'm from Detroit right
Say
now.
I suck a dick again.
I'm right here, right now.
See, he said it twice. Say it again. He said, I'm from Detroit. That's, again, bro, we don't need your dating profile. We don't need to know what you weigh. We don't need to know how tall you are. We don't need to know where you grew up. We don't need to know what kind of rims you got on your car. We don't need to know none of that. None of that. He says, say it again. Either say it again or don't say it again. That's it. That's it. None of the extras are necessary. You copping please right now.
All right, that's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna respect you.
Dance around it. Dance around it.
No.
I don't do no dick sucking shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna respect you because it's your platform.
Nah, dog. Nah, bruh. Nah. No. Bro, what you mean I'm gonna respect you because it's your platform? You didn't already said that it sucks. What you mean? You said he sucked like 5 times. All of a sudden we respecting platforms? Come on, man. No, man. Come on, man. Now we respecting platforms? We respecting platforms now. Bro, just say you scared. Nut ass. Talking about we respecting platforms. Stop it. And if you're in the chat like, Corey went too far. Corey, you're mean. You're mean. You're a bad boy. Corey, you're a bad boy, Corey. You're mean. If you think like that, all that means is you're from the suburbs, and that's okay. You have a different value set. You think that you can say what you want and there are no consequences. It's almost an unmanly thing. You grew up in an environment that was too civilized. Me personally, I think that when he first said you suck And bro said, "Nah, I don't do that." He should have said, "You know, you're right, my fault." And then they could have carried on. I would have apologized. I'm not above apologizing because that was something wild to say. And we all get outside our body sometimes. But when you double down and you restate it 6 times, and then a nigga get up right in front of your face and say it one more time, and you said it 6 times, but you won't say it one more time. You said it 6 times, but you won't say it one more time. That's because your suburban ass just figured out for the first time in life that one time you about to say that is going to have consequences. And as a man, you just estimated that like, nah, I don't think I want those consequences. And that's okay. That's why we have consequences, to control behavior. And Corey was able to effectively control behavior. Am I wrong? It's kind of like your mama. If you had a black mama, sometimes it's an unfortunate thing. But if you had a black mama, she'd say, "Boy, sit your ass down before I come in there with this belt and whoop your ass." She'd say something like that. And whatever you were doing, you heard that. It's like, where's that voice coming from? It's a voice just bouncing all around, bellowing. And then you're like, you know what? I think I'm going to sit my ass down before she come in here with that belt. And I think I'm going to just go ahead and cool out. Because I don't think I need that in my life right now. I'm just going to play my part, stay in my lane, so to speak. And I think that's just what happened right here. Corey was like, "Hey, I really do this." And Anton was like, "I thought I really do this as well, but it would appear that I don't. So I think I'm just going to back down in the best way I can to maintain a little bit of dignity in front of the internet nerds." But real niggas know he just pulled your whole card. Yeah, real niggas know. Real niggas know. And you know what? Before I even watched this, I thought it was like even, because everybody on the internet was like, "Nah, it was about even." Like, half of the people were saying Anton, didn't, Anton won it. Other half were saying Corey won it. But in terms of the man-to-man conflict, yeah, that was a clear W. Corey took that. That was a clear W. Shout out to Michael. Came and supporting the work via PayPal. May I also acknowledge? Okay, so we're caught up there. Yeah, that was a clear W on Corey's part. Very clear. And the only people who wouldn't say it was a clear W are, goofy ass suburban kids. That's it. Just goofy ass suburban kids. There's nothing wrong if you're a goofy ass suburban kid. Nothing wrong with that. Carrying on.
And I flew out here to have a conversation.
We good.
But you're not busting up on me.
Yo,
We good. I did already. I don't do.
I agree with Corey. He said, "You're not bossing up on me." He's like, "I did already." And I'm like, that's what I saw. That's 100% what I just observed, is that he bossed up on you. It's 100% what I saw. I did not see anything other than Corey bossing up on you. You folded, and now you're saying he didn't boss up on you. It's a little late. That's a little late. It's a little late for that.
We can put the microphone right now and go on our back. I don't give a fuck about this shit.
Nah, bro. Nah, because some things you just got to take care of on site. Some you just got to do it when it's time. Some things. If there's anybody in the live chat that thinks that Anton did not get punked, I don't mind letting you come on, because I'd like to hear your suburban perspective on this. I'd just be curious to hear how you people think.
Homie, you just running your mouth.
I'm not running my mouth.
got a
You
question
running
for
your mouth.
Anton.
I don't.
I agree with Corey. You're just running your mouth. And the thing is, because Corey's not a bully, at this point, he's like, "You folded, I'm going to just let you be. I'm going to let you be because you already folded. So, we're good now because I already established dominance. So we straight. Everybody know what it is. Everybody who's in the room, they know what it is. Everybody who's watching, they know what it is. So I'm going to just let you be now."
You doing this shit for the internet. You doing it for the internet. Now, if you want to say your time, no, hold on. If you want
I'll
to say
show
Anton,
you I ain't doing it for the internet.
if you want to say Anton, listen, don't
I'ma
disrespect
let
me
you
like
finish.
that. If you want to,
Now, see, now Anton is like, he acting like a brother. If you want to say, "Anton, don't disrespect me like that," dude, he said that like 4 times. He said, "Hey, I don't do that." He said, "Hey, don't come at me with that gay stuff." He said, "Hey, no. And you triple, quadruple down on it. Don't play games." And see, this is why I don't like the internet, because you internet nerds, I'm just trying to figure out, like, how is it that people are acting like Anton won? Like, y'all are real fans. Like, I like what he does. Shout out to Anton. Like, shout out to my bald head brother. Like, I like what he does, but y'all niggas is real fans. Like, you're not even logical. I thought I was going to see something 50-50. This was a landslide. Bro got actually punked by somebody the same size as him. Like, that's crazy to me. I don't even comprehend how that happened. And he got punked because of the ego. And like, that's one thing I teach you guys is think before you speak. That's why I got the Master Communicator course. Master Communicator course. Teaches you to think before you speak, to plot out what is the purpose of what I'm saying here. Why am I speaking as a man? You guys got to be suburban kids. I'm going to give the link to a suburban nerd who would like to explain to me how Anton Daniels did not get punked. And listen, I want you guys all to know, see, because I grew up shooting fades. So I'm not one of those people, like, say, like, for example, when Tate lost his fade, I wasn't one of those people who was like, oh, Andrew Tate lost the fade. I'm just like, bro, shot the fade. Nigga, you're going to lose some, you're going to win some. But the key is don't run. You heard me? Like, yeah, the key is don't run. Get it in. Like, I just respect the nigga for getting it in because I got in a lot of them. So, you know, you ain't got to win, but you got to shoot it, though. You did? You got to shoot the fade. You ain't got to win. Like, I don't never look down on a man for taking the L because here's the thing. If he get it in, what that let everybody know is like, yeah, you could start a problem, but you going to get a problem. That's all we need. That's all we need is just to make sure everybody knows it's going to be an issue. So I respect anybody that shoot they fade. You heard me? Like, that's why for me, it don't matter if you big or small. The fade going to get shot. Believe that. Hello, my suburban friend. Please explain to me how your idol, Anton Daniels, did not just get punked.
No. Actually, I agree with you. Anton Daniels did get punked. He got bitched on air. I just disagree with you when you said that suburban kids would not consider this a L for Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels. Like, it's a situation that could have been avoided as black men on the platform that was like worldwide on YouTube. But boundaries was crossed. As soon as Corey Holcomb stood up, Anton Daniels should have stood up. You know, nigga, I box. So niggas like, we moving furniture. We don't got to go outside. We doing that shit right there on the spot, on site.
I
so
I
agree
if
with
you,
but
stand up, yeah, it got to go.
Yeah.
you got to go.
I'm not disagreeing with you on the Anton Daniels shit. Like, you know, he got his carpool on internet. So, yeah.
Roger that.
But salute you, dog.
Yeah, appreciate you. Are you about to tell me?
Peace, brother.
Peace of the Saints. You about to tell me how Anton Daniels did not get his car pulled?
Man, he told the man step outside in the lot. Corey walked off and acted like he finna put the mic down and got up and then sat right back down, bro. You know what I'm saying? Both. Let me just say this, brother. I met Corey Holcomb. I actually know him through a person. We grew up in Chicago. Mess with him. Okay. We about the same age too.
Okay.
But you can't sit up and disrespect nobody, bro. And then when somebody go lower than you, this ain't no Michelle Obama stuff, bro. When they go low, we go high. No, I'm the type of person. I'm just saying me, bro. You tell me to kiss I'm kissing somebody's ass. Yeah, I might say something to you that you might not like. Okay. You disrespecting me by saying I kiss white folks' ass. That's disrespectful right there. You know what I'm saying? I just wish that they would have finished the topics instead of getting in, you know, I just wish they would have finished the topics that they talked about and it went left, man. Both of them got good platforms, bro.
Are you suggesting, you know that Corey Holcomb folded because he didn't want to go outside?
He didn't go out in that lot.
Okay.
Now let me ask you this. Out in the lot and it said, and
I didn't even get to that part yet, so I'm gonna play that so that we can address it. But I want to ask you this. So you said you met Corey Holcomb.
Actually, yeah, I did. Somebody I grew up with knows him, and I met him. I met him before. Yeah.
Okay, you got a common friend. Do you have a problem with Corey Holcomb?
I don't. No, man. He a comedian, man. He do what he do. I ain't got no problem with him. You know what I'm saying? That's why That's why it surprised me that the things that he say on his platform, bro, they be disrespectful than an MF, bro. So when you say something disrespectful to somebody, you know what I'm saying? As much as disrespect you put out there, regardless of if we agree with it or not, bro, it was kind of like, oh man, come on, bro. You got to be able to take that, man.
Let me ask you this. If you met Corey Holcomb and you have a common friend with Corey Holcomb, why would you speak up against him in public?
I'm not speaking up against him. I'm not speaking up against him. I'm saying both of them was wrong, bro. The disrespect was equal on both sides, man.
Right. But have you met Anton Daniels before?
No, sir.
No. Okay. So what I'm saying to you is, if between the two, your connection is closer to Corey Holcomb, why would you come here speaking objectively if it's at some level speaking against somebody that you have a positive connection to?
Hey, brother, I'm not finna go. When somebody wrong, they wrong, bro. When somebody wrong, it could be you. I had the same conversation with a friend, and man, I've been knowing for almost 50 years, bro. I'm 54 years old, bro. We got a split. We got a difference of agreement. If you tell me I kiss ass because you don't like my political stance, I'm gonna probably go up under you and say the same thing Anton said, and we could take it from there. That's just how I am. I don't care who you are, bro. You're not finna disrespect me, and if I disrespect you, you say, "Oh man, that was too low." No, bro. It don't work like that, man. And if we gotta fight it out, we gotta fight it out. I'm from Chicago. It don't even matter where you from. We men. I'm a man, bro.
See
and if we gotta, tell you this: if somebody walk up on me like Corey, if somebody walk, I'm sorry, bro. Something to say. If somebody walk up on me like Corey Holcomb did. Or if it was vice versa, once you get within hand's length, bro, you got too close.
On God, yeah, that's man.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you.
It's gonna happen, and I understand that Corey didn't want to do that because they in studio, the equipment in there costs a lot of money. I get that, man. Then neither one of them really want to throw no punch. I'm just saying, wrong is wrong, bro. If I got a friend, if I'm a friend of yours, bro, I'm gonna point out your wrong.
I totally hear that.
I'm gonna point you out, bro. That's what love is, bro. When you're wrong, bro. You got to point it out.
I hear that. By the way, folks, if everyone can take their time to transition over to Twitch real quick, because I want to continue the conversation, but I'm about to shut down the YouTube streams. So transition over to Twitch. I'll put it up right here. I'll give you guys a little bit of time. I want to address the folks calling in. We got a couple folks calling in.
Hey, this is my first time ever. This is my first time ever listening to you, bro, too, man. I'm gonna check you out, subscribe to you. I never heard of you in my life, bro. I was just going through YouTube and saw your page. I subscribed to it. So I'll be contributing to you, bro.
Well, I appreciate that. That means a lot. And that's really serendipitous because YouTube is definitely trying to shadow ban me. But I tell you this, the reason I asked you those previous questions is because, to me, loyalty and tribe is really important. And there's some things that when you disagree with maybe something that your family member does or your friend does, if it's not going to take money out of your pocket, if it's not going to cause you any harm, sometimes it's better to stay silent than to speak against people that you have association with. And that's why I was asking you, because like if it were me, if I was in your position, I had any connection to Corey Holcomb or, my man's was his man's, I wouldn't speak against them. You're like, to me, it's like, damn, like, where's the love and the loyalty at?
I'm not speaking against them, bro. I'm just saying both of them were wrong, bro. That went.
I'm not saying that
wrong,
they weren't
man.
both
You
wrong.
telling a man telling a man
that they weren't both wrong. What I'm saying is that you're wrong for speaking out against somebody that you have positive relations with. Because when you ask yourself this, when you're talking about right and wrong, this is an abstraction, right? So you're defending the abstraction of like, this is wrong or this is right, but it has no impact in the world. Whereas your relationship with, say, Corey Holcomb or your friend who's a mutual contact has more meaning in the world, meaning like that can benefit you or hurt you directly, whereas you establishing what's right from wrong has no actual impact on your life. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I got you, brother. I don't know how old you are, bro. Like I said, I'm 54 years old, bro. I don't play games. I call it out for how I see it, bro, and let the chips fall where they may. And when I talk to my friend, I'm gonna tell him that was a manure show, bro. I wish it wouldn't have went that way. You know what I'm saying? And he could take it any way he wants to too. I really don't care. A friend would point out like, man, bro, that was a bad look. That's all I'm saying. That was a bad look on Corey and what I'm saying is that Anton. That was a bad look. And if either one of them don't like it, I don't give a damn.
No, that's not a bad look because they were there for business and they both made more money with the conflict.
But it was like we say, people love drama. That was drama.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing,
I know they polar opposites.
Here's the thing that perplexes me about the viewers
with topics and everything, and that didn't happen.
That's rarely true because the viewers absolutely love drama. That's why the numbers are always so much higher. That's called virality. And it only reaffirms that the viewers like the BS. They don't like intellectual conversations. The data does not bear that out. And I've seen this in my own videos. Like if you're talking about some bull, people will come on. They're like, oh, I can't believe you're talking about this. But you'll have 500% more comments than you would have if you weren't talking about a given piece of nonsense. And so people often lie and they're deluded. And that's what I'm saying. Is like most people are not intellectuals. They did not want to hear an intellectual conversation. And as you said, Corey's a comedian and Anton's not an intellectual. So how would you look to see an intellectual conversation between a comedian and an everyday person? But like, okay, so you like intellectual conversations, right?
I wanted to hear, yes, sir. I just wanted to hear the differences on whatever the topics is. Because like I say, I know Anton is a Republican and Corey don't, like he say, I don't do voting is for suckers and all that. So I just wanted to see that dynamic play out, not, the disrespect. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, brother.
Right. Okay. So say you saw that.
I didn't want to see that though. That was to me, bro. That wasn't. I ain't like that, bro.
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on, sharing that. Let me let a few more folks on the line, and then we'll get after. I appreciate you coming
on. Peace to the Saints. How you doing, Marquett? No,
peace to the Saints. I'm well.
Because I
mind if I let a couple? You mind if I let a couple more folks on while you're on?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, let me just let a few more folks on. Okay, go ahead. Shout to Ant. You can engage as well. Go ahead, talk to me, boss.
So, peace of Saints. So I saw this clip while I was at work, and then I didn't watch the whole video until I joined your live from. I think I joined on Twitch, and then I joined on YouTube while I'm watching right now. If you pay attention to the whole situation, it seems more like he had a disdain for Corey, because when you looked at it, Corey gave him time to speak, and like how you said, he spoke to him as if he was a brother. But when you look at how Anton talked to him, he had disdain for him. And the whole situation started from him calling him out on saying, you never disrespected white folks or called out white men for what they did, but then you immediately have negative energy specifically towards black men. And then when he called him out on that, that's when you go and disrespect him. So it's like, how do you expect Corey to feel? And not only that, he just told you kindly at first, hey, I'm not with that. And then you just kept saying it. Now he's face to face.
Right, like 5 times. That was the crazy part.
And it's like, what do you expect him to do? Like, you disrespected him, and he showed you respect. And now you're trying to say, oh, I'm on your platform, let me be respectful. But you disrespected him the whole entire time. Like,
I agree. I totally agree. I yield the floor. Ant, what's on your mind?
What's going on? Peace to the Saints. I'm gonna be quick because I know you're trying to get some people that's on the other side of it. Anybody that's up here talking about Anton told him to go outside, what you don't know, Marquett, because you didn't get to that point yet, Anton had security with him. So I don't want to hear nobody talking about. Thank you. Exactly. So all you people that's in the chat talking about some Corey back down, Corey. But first of all, let me just say this. I don't think either of them are necessarily scared of each other. Right? I'm 28 years old. So a lot of them, I think Anton in his 40s and I think Corey in his 50s. I don't think either of them are necessarily scared of each other. But I don't think either of them necessarily wanted to fight. But if it go down, it go down. But at the end of the day, all that let's go outside talk. If I'm getting into a Marquett and Marquett came to my show by himself and I'm trying to get tough with Marquett and I say go outside and my 6'7", 310-pound security guard is there, everybody tough with a security guard. That's all I want to say. So y'all can miss me with that whole Corey got punked. Man, he had a security guard. I don't want to hear that. Appreciate you though. That's all I got to say.
Settled.
Much love to you. Peace to the Saints.
Peace to the Saints.
What's up, man? How's everybody
How
doing?
you feel?
How you doing?
All right. How you feel? What's on your mind, Chief?
Yeah, can I talk now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely.
Okay, how you gonna say Corey punked him when he said go outside? Check this out. Now, if you guys know, Corey got sued before. Remember, there was a fight with Ari Spears on there, right? So maybe that's why he didn't want to do it up in there, right? So that's the excuse I could see Corey using. But when you do that gangster stuff and somebody pulls your car and say, let's go outside, you got to do that, especially when you coming in their face like that, right?
Man, I wish
don't write a check.
You were still on there. You heard Ant. I wish you were still on here when the.
No, I heard what he said, but listen, you got a bodyguard, right? But I'm still gonna go outside to see if you come with your bodyguard. Then I can use that. You get what I'm saying? Huh?
Nah.
I'm not going.
I don't.
He was there. Okay. And if you want to use the bodyguard, he was there with his peoples as well. Because you heard Ari say, "Well, you got your peoples too."
That's true, but the fact that he stood up and he came face to face with you, why didn't you just handle it there? Because the fact that you said, "Let's go outside."
Out of respect, brother. Out of respect, brother.
Remind you, he was being disrespectful towards him the whole entire time. He gave him time to speak, and then you called.
I don't like any of them, so I'm not arguing for any of them. I'm just saying how I saw it. Now
I understand how you're saying.
You can't jump at a person and do that third grade. Say it again. He already said it. He disrespected you. He's like, come on now. That's like you smack me. I'm talking. Why you do that? Come on now. But what we call that where I'm from? You're making movies. That's what Corey was doing. He was making a movie. When he said what he said, you heard what he said. Come on now. Right or wrong? All of that. Say it again.
I think that's wrong. I think that's wrong.
You shouldn't have to have somebody gas you up to fight. Right?
No, it's not about the gas. It's the fact that he stood up and he pulled up to you. You could have teed off because you're the one that started the whole situation.
Right.
You were disrespectful to him. You're on his podcast. And as soon as he gave you an opportunity to get busy, now it's all I want to be respectful towards you.
Yeah.
And
you never heard Anton talk about being respectful. I'm going to go ahead and play it real quick.
So as far as Marquette being respectful, that's why he didn't want to do it in there. As far as everybody knew he got sued before. I'm just saying as far as that would be the
you're talking about
I would hear
in terms of Corey.
Exactly.
You know, honestly, I don't think it was that. I think it was just a simple matter of I don't want you saying that about me. I just bullied you, and now you're not going to say that about me. Problem solved. You've been dominated. So now all that extra stuff is not necessary because you're not about to say that again. And that was my only issue. My only issue was you saying it. Now you ain't going to say it. So everything else is just nonsense.
Well, he already, come on. You shouldn't have to, come on. All I say it again. That's that. We got over that in the third grade. Wouldn't you say that, Marquette? Come on now. If we got smoke, I shouldn't have to come up to you and say, hey, hit me. Like, you already know what it is. You get what I'm saying? It ain't like he said, oh, you're a bad person. He said, you're S&D. Come on now. We know where we from. That's it's no more talking. I don't need you to say it again. Come on.
Let's take a look real quick. I got to see the part that you're talking about because I actually haven't seen this video before. So I'm going to rewind it and we're just going to see how it de-escalates real quick.
For the internet,
if you want to say Anton, listen, don't disrespect me like that. If you want to say Anton, don't
like he already said that, so that was kind of weird.
Disrespect me like that. I'll respect you, but don't boss up on me because you said a lot of shit to me today that I don't fuck with either. But I'll let that.
Nah, he didn't insult you. He made arguments you didn't agree with. But I'd say in terms of the insulting, Anton did most of the insulting.
Shit, right? Because you don't know me. You don't know me. So I'm going to extend the same respect to you. You called me out of my name. You said some wild shit, especially with regard to how would it call this guy his name?
That's what I was thinking. I ain't even going to lie to you. Like, now, tell me this. Did Imperial? Did Corey call Anton out of his name?
Yes. Before that, they didn't play it, but before that, he said.
What you mean they didn't play it?
You sucking white men off. So he disrespected Anton first. I'm telling you. Like I said, they're not playing it though.
What you mean they not playing it? Like, don't they want to
when you get to watch the whole thing, you'll be able to see it. Trust me. I'm telling you, he disrespected. Not like I said, I did mark in the game.
You ain't been on the whole live. Imperial. I've been watching the live from the beginning.
You gotta hold it down. You know that, Marquette. And Corey does that. He talks that, you know what I mean, tougher than nails shit. So
that's
here
what
I'm
saying. He was with it.
You're sucking D, and you gonna sit there getting up in his face and not do nothing. You lost. And then he tells you, go outside. Nah, it's a wrap.
Wait, hold on. All right. So let me ask you this though. So if I get right in front of your face and you said something disrespectful, I'm like, say that one more time, I'm a fire on you. And then you don't say
I'm
it.
snuffing
I think you took the L there. But then if you say go outside, like straight away, okay, cool. I'm still in the moment. But by the time you like fold it, it's kind of in the past. But here's the thing. If you're sitting there and you got your bodyguard and you're saying, hey, go outside. So I'm going to go outside with you and your bodyguard and duff you out and get jumped by you and your bodyguard. Like that don't even
you got
seem
your peoples
sensible.
there. You got your peoples there.
But why are we factoring peoples? We not factoring.
But
there's only one
bodyguard up.
Nah, but there's only one
person. The bodyguard's not going to jump in. But this is how you pull a person's card, Marquette. If you tell me that and you got a bodyguard, let's go outside. And as soon as your bodyguard step up like you wanted, then I'll come back. See, that it wasn't what you wanted. You get what I'm saying? At least do that. But he didn't even do that. You know why? Because Corey was scared. He got his card pulled, bro.
You actually think he was scared in terms of instead of just not interested?
He didn't think Anton was going to step like that. To me, I think Anton would have got his ass
crazy.
What?
That's crazy. You think Corey was scared? Tell me
you would jump in somebody's face and all that, talking about say it again. After I told you what you do, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So
why 100%. First of all, I wouldn't get in somebody's face if I'm not going to do nothing. That's called
because the thing is, people are just bluffers. You don't have to do anything. You just have to let them know what the hierarchy is. So the thing is, like, if you're dealing with somebody who's really about it, 9 out of 9, you would have never been in that situation because they know the consequences. But what happens is a lot of people, they're not aware of the consequences because they ain't lived a real life. So all you have to do is establish proximity and intimidate them. And then they're like, okay, I could tell that this guy really knocked my block off. So I'm going to shut it down and I'm going to be respectful. Then we can get back to the podcast. Like, I'll give you an example. When I was at the Whatever podcast, I pulled up. I didn't know Adam was going to be there. We had an issue. I hopped out.
And you pulled his card in front of his.
Yeah, I was like, hey, you need that? Yeah. But then after that, as far as I was concerned, cool, let's just get to the podcast. And like, we don't have to do anything else because you know that if it's an issue, I'm going to take it to the nth degree. So now let's just podcast. And I figured that was the same thing with Corey. He was like, now you know what it is. Now we can talk respectfully.
But what did you tell homeboy? We could go out and shoot the 5, right? Not right there. You told him, and that was respectful. And what did he do? He balked on it. You know why? Because he was scared. All that crap he be talking about you, when came push the shove, he didn't want to do it. Why? That's the difference. That's the difference. You know what I mean? He didn't want to cross that line. And that's
true. But I do have to throw in that there was like one different level that ours was a little deeper because I talked about his old lady. I talked about his kids. In response to some of the things he said about me, like I went hard because like for me it was like a real issue because like just the backstory on his like bro was like used to like texting me off some fan stuff like, oh, I got to interview you, Marquett, and I love your stuff. And then the switch up was crazy. So I think it was just a different level of like, yeah, I really want to knock his block off. But to be honest, in the Corey situation, I'd have probably like let that go. Like, bro's a lightweight. He ain't even really like that. He just got outside his body for a moment. And, you know, I'm going to let him go because he a Valley girl. So I wouldn't have even thought twice about that, to be honest with you. That's why I could Corey being scared. But I don't know. Let me let Ant get at you because I feel like you two had two very opposing arguments. I yield the floor.
So let me ask you a question. What's your name, my brother?
Imperial, what's up? Imperial.
If you say something to me, if we out in public, and I want to respect Marquett's platform, if we out in public and you sitting there with your lady or something, or you sitting by yourself, it don't matter. And you call me a B, and I hear you, and I walk over to you in your face, and I say that one more time, and you don't say nothing, I'm scared.
That's a little.
Thank you. That's all right. That's all I need to know. I'm just kidding. That's all I need to know.
No, but I don't know you. Hold on, don't. So that's it.
You know what? That
But you
proves.
say
Hold
I
on.
don't remember. I don't know
Let me
you.
explain something to you. That
I
proves
didn't
my
know
point
you.
even more.
That's a different situation, brother.
That proves my point. You actually proving my point even more because if we're on a platform together and we don't know each other, you're you and I'm me, and now we've gotten to the point now where not only did you say something disrespectful to me, but I done moved a seat over and got into your face and said, "Say that one more time." We're two grown men, and when men we fight to the death. We're not in high school. We're not about to slap box. If I get in your face, first of all, I'm gonna fire on you. That's just me. I'm from Cleveland. I'm from the
That's
city.
what I said. Yeah.
But
As soon as you get in my face, I'm firing on you.
but again,
You got in my
hold on.
square,
I
brother.
promise I'm gonna let you get your one off. I promise I'm gonna be quiet. But at that point, when I move over next to you and I say in your face, just like this, with my microphone, let me pull out my microphone. Say that one more time. And you sit there and say, I'm gonna respect your platform, you don't want no smoke for it. You don't want to fight.
At all.
Why he didn't? Okay,
At
brother.
all.
Why he didn't go outside?
Why is it secure? Everybody
Why
went.
didn't Corey go outside? Hold on. And then
And
if you want to
period.
talk about
Let me answer your
lawsuits,
question.
that's the reason I brought. Go ahead.
Let me answer your question. Everybody wanna go outside with the security guard. Everybody.
No, what? So you
Corey
really
was
think-
there. Corey,
okay, so
listen.
they wanted,
Corey,
they wanted
Craig
Corey
wasn't
to go
there.
outside so they could jump him?
Well, we don't know what happened. All I know is this: Corey was there with a woman that was sitting right there, Darlene, and Corey was there with his production team. Corey wasn't there with no security, right? And I'm calling it on both sides. Corey wasn't there with security. So if you tell me to leave my production area where I'm working at and let's go outside, and you got your security guard there with you, I mean, what sense do that make? I'm supposed to fight you with a security guard. The security guard is there to protect this person. You think the security guard is gonna be like, well, I'm getting paid hourly to protect this nigga, but go ahead and beat him up, huh?
So I could
That's
tell you that
crazy.
disrespectful stuff,
That's
and you just
crazy.
gonna come to my face and say it again? Really?
If I come to your face and say it
No,
again,
I'm
you sit
asking,
there.
brother. Really?
What do you what are you asking? Repeat it.
You gonna come in my face talking about say it again?
Hold on. Repeat your question.
I don't need to hear it again, brother.
Hold on.
Once you
Hold on.
disrespect to the point where I let you speak,
you
right?
just wanna
Once you
talk at this
disrespect to the point where it's going to be smoke, it's not that much talking.
Okay, you asked me a question. Okay, I'm trying to follow you.
The reason why, because it's not that serious, and that's what Corey realized when he seen Antoine wasn't bucking down. Yeah.
He did buck down. He sat there and moved into a man's face and didn't get up. What are you talking about?
No, Antoine ain't built like that. You know that shit. All that tough.
It's not about being built like this. Let me respond to you, Imperial. It's not about being built like that. We're men.
Yes, it does.
And every single man has a breaking point. So all of this, you not built like that. First of all, they're both content creators. They're both people of a certain level of a status. None of them are in the streets. You acting like they standing on the corner robbing
But they
niggas or
jumping
something.
up. Okay, all that podcast, but they jumping up like they in the streets. So
that's not about being in the streets. That's manhood, Imperial. Let me explain something to you, and you should know this because you older than me. That's manhood. Just because you checking somebody, that don't mean you a part of the streets. That's called being a man. What are you talking about the streets? Who say anything about the streets? If a man get in my face, regardless if you're from the streets or the suburbs.
Stuff though.
Say, huh?
Okay, all right, but.
I think it's a slight delay.
All right, I have my.
Well, hold on. Respectfully, I do think there is a slight delay, probably on my end, so we talking past each other. But I just want to explain something to you. It's not about the streets. It's about manhood and it's about principle. So if another man walks over to me and I say something disrespectful to him, and he tells me to say it one more time, and we're both on a public platform in front of everybody. And which everybody want to be that way in front of everybody on the internet. And I say, I'm going to respect your platform and I have a security guard with me. I don't want to fight. I'm there for, I'm trying to get attention.
He told him go outside and he did it.
He got a security guard with him, Imperial.
Okay, all right. You keep saying that, but he didn't go outside.
So why Anton ain't fire on him right there?
Because he's not built like that.
So then what are you arguing?
The way you speaking, brother, I can see you. Would you let somebody in your square like that?
It's not about me. It's about the situation that happened.
You let somebody in your square like that? Because that you don't do that over here.
When I let somebody walk up on me, are you asking me? Are you asking me? Are you asking me when I let somebody walk up on me and get in my face?
Yeah. After you said something like that, you're gonna really let somebody come up talking about say it again, say it. As soon as you came close enough, I'm snuffing you. You know why?
Yeah, but we're not. But again, the argument is not about you going off the rails. The argument is not about what I would have done in the situation. The argument is about what happened. And what happened was he sat there and was told to repeat what he said again. And let's be honest. Most of us is from some type of city. We're all black, so we all understand there's a certain code. And let's not do this whole. Well, he already said it. People do that all the time. You said what? Say it again. Like that's something that we've been doing. Like people been talking about since childhood.
Yeah, it's a
Thank you.
process right there.
So it's
Yeah.
like I'm gonna give you another chance to make the right decision.
And he did say it again in another way. If you look at it, he said, "Yeah, you do be doing it." So he agreed with it.
No, that was beforehand. No. Imperial. That was beforehand. That wasn't after the fact.
Like that.
Imperial. That was beforehand. It wasn't after the fact.
Let me just.
And then they
just
sat down.
the tape
And then
real
they
quick.
sat down, and he said, "I disrespected you to your face."
Let me just give y'all the tape real quick.
Because you said a lot of shit to me today. I'm doing this shit for the internet.
Homie, you just running your mouth.
Put the microphone right there.
We
Stop
good.
busting up on me.
Yo,
We good. I did already. I don't do dick
We can put
sucking
the
shit.
microphone right down
Yo.
right now and go on her back. I don't give a fuck about this shit.
Homie, you just running your mouth.
I'm not running my
I
mouth.
got a
You
question
running
for
your mouth.
Anton.
I don't do
You
no
doing
dick
this shit for the
sucking shit.
internet. You doing it for the internet. Now, if you want to say your time, no, hold on. If you want
I'll
to say
show
Anton,
you I ain't doing it for the internet.
if you want to say Anton, listen, don't disrespect me like that. If you want to say Anton, don't disrespect me like that. I'll respect you, but don't boss up on me because you said a lot of shit to me today that I don't fuck with either. But I let that shit ride because you don't know me. You don't know me. So I'm gonna extend the same respect to you. You called me out of my name. You said some wild shit, especially with regard to how
Would it call this nigga out his name?
Nigga, I'm telling you that you did. You can't tell me how I get disrespected.
I got a question for bro.
Cop it, please. Yo, man, cop it, please. Now, man, they there anyway. We call that cop it, please. Yeah, cop it, please. Now, come on, you don't tell me something like that. Then we sitting there, and then to the point where he even had to make him leave. Why? Because he was telling him, "I disrespect you in your face." That's what Corey supposed to do. What he got to do. Why? He's constantly disrespecting you in your house. But like I said, these people ain't built like that. And all that rah-rah stuff, because I check Corey here and there, he talks that rah-rah stuff. But, when push came to shove, just like your man Marquett, when he came up in there, he seen homeboy in the building, he said, "Yo, we got to handle this," and he did that respectfully. That's how you do it.
What?
Yeah, but even in that situation, 'cause I watched that video, the guy did exactly what Anton did. He didn't, like, Adam didn't want to catch the smoke. He told him, "Hey, you want that? We could go."
And he said we could go outside and then come right back in. Antoine told him, "Come outside," and that's why I said at least what I would have respected, Corey go outside and then see the bodyguard stepping up. Then be like, "Okay, you really didn't want it. You wanted to send your bodyguard." He could at least did that.
Okay,
like
what if they jumped him?
He thought it wasn't going to happen. He thought the boy was going to buck under.
Imperial, what if they jumped him? Then what? What if they went out there and jumped him? Because
Bro,
when
he was there with his peoples, and you know how I know he was there with his peoples? Because you really need to listen, brother. He said, "You got your bodyguard too." He said, "No, those are my boys."
No, they're not his boys. Do you watch the 5150 show? Because I do.
I don't watch. No. I don't
Okay, then. So you're incorrect. Let me explain something to you. Those are not his.
What Corey said, brother.
Right, but I'm telling you something that you don't know. So I need you to listen. That is not. Those are. He didn't say those are his boys. That is the production team. The 5'6" Mexican camera guy that sits behind the counter and records him. That's one of his guys. Is going to get in the field. Like, let's be honest. I actually watched the show.
Were you there, brother?
No, but I watched the show, so I know the people who are behind I know the people who are in the production team because he talks about them all the time. The people that are behind the production team, if you watch the 5150 show, you'll know them by name. So those aren't his.
Somebody else could have came. His boys could have been hanging with him that night. You don't notice?
No, but I think he's saying, why would Corey put him in a? Why would? No,
I get what you said. Yeah, you're
where he
saying something you don't know.
Because if he wanted a situation, why didn't he just take off on him right there? Because mind you, the only reason this situation happened is because Corey.
Okay, brothers, who's the tough one? Who's the tough talker out of those two? Corey is correct. The tough talker.
Wait, say it again. I didn't hear.
Out of Anton and Corey, who's the tough talker? Corey is, right?
But in that situation, it was Anton that was disrespecting him the whole entire time. All he did was tell him, the same way you disrespecting black men, why don't you disrespect white men the same way? And then as soon as he said that, that's when he told him, "You suck black people's dick." That's as soon as he said that. Yeah. And then he processed it, gave him time to speak. He even told, "I don't do that." And then he stood up, pushed Shorty out the way, and then he got right to him. And he didn't do nothing. So why would he need to get up to defend himself if he went right in front of your face, stood over you, you didn't shoot no shit, no fade or nothing.
Oh man.
And then he gave you opportunity. That's all we saying. There's no point in him leaving to shoot the fade with you if he gave you.
It is. If you're gonna jump in my face and I'm like, "Yo, bro, let's take it outside." That's what men do. No,
but what's the point of taking it
outside? They gotta tear up the furniture all the time. They gotta tear up the studio. Let's take it outside.
Right, if me and you got
don't come in my face, and then when I tell you let's take it outside, you can balk. and then try to act like that was.
Let's peep this. Let's
move.
peep the rest of it real quick. Let's
Yeah,
peep
yeah,
the rest of it.
Okay.
No. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. We just getting loud. I ain't gonna get loud.
Then don't switch seats.
No, this is my show. This is my show.
That's cool, but I take that shit as a threat.
Okay, well, it is a threat if you calling me dick
It is for sure a threat.
sucking. I don't dick suck, my nigga.
Man, fuck what you talking about.
I don't
bro.
dick suck.
If you want to get back to the
I also want you guys to take note of how far Anton is. Like, he's to the edge of the table. He's back up to the edge.
conversation, ain't no, because you ain't gonna do shit. Because you're not gonna do
Come
shit.
at me with that dick sucking shit again, nigga.
Now, this is the second time he challenged him to say it again. This is the second round of challenges.
Hey, he didn't say it either.
Oh man,
And
y'all stuck on that, Marquett.
Say I suck dick again, nigga.
Wait, he didn't put the mic down.
Right now. We can go back right now.
Let me get my security guard.
That's what Anton.
This is let me get my security guard right here. Let me get my security guard.
Kick him right in the face.
Let me go where it's safe
When
at.
Anton got up, he's supposed to kick him in the face. All that
Mind you, you saw
disrespect.
how he got and stood up? He could have took off on Corey while his mouth was
No,
down.
that's what I'm talking. That's what I'm saying. If you was really with the biz, all of that, like I said,
your boy was standing up. Like, you defending Anton. Why he ain't just take off on him when he stood up? Corey was sitting
Bro, y'all acting like I'm defending. I'm just talking about as far as them two, okay? You're not gonna, okay, like me. You're not gonna tell me that. So for somebody to do that to me and I don't do nothing, you pulled my fucking card. That part. All right. That's why I asked you guys. That's why I asked you guys who's the alpha male out of those two. And you gotta be Corey. He talks that rah-rah shit. Oh,
Well, let's just let's just First off,
brother,
we
you
don't.
said you watched him, right? He said all that shit to Stephen A. Smith ain't do shit when he seen them.
Let me say this real quick. First of all, we don't know either of them. So all that alpha male talk, we don't know. This is the internet, man. I think we make assumptions on people based off of what we see online about their whole entire personality. We don't know Corey. We don't know Anton. So let's not talk about who's the alpha. I think that's weird. But as far as the situation, in my opinion, when he asked this man to say the same thing like 3 or 4 times at that point, and hold on, let me finish. And he said that multiple times, and he gave him the opportunity to stand on it. And then he was like, all right, let me get up and let me go by my security guard where it feels safer. That's the thing. I'm not doing that. If I really wanted to get up with you, I'm gonna just repeat exactly what I said. But me personally, I'm not letting nobody get in my face. As soon as you get up, I'm getting up and I'm gonna just fire on you. Your chin gonna be to the moon at that point. But as far as him giving him an opportunity to say it 3-4 times and he didn't say it, like they didn't want to fight. He ain't want to fight. He there for attention. Let me go get the security guard where I feel safe, man. That's soft to me. That's weak. At the end of the day, that's weak.
And the fact that Anton was the aggressor the whole entire time. Like, Corey wasn't even disrespecting him, calling him brother and everything. And then he wanted to be disrespectful towards him. And
when you get to watch it, you'll see it. When you can see the whole entirety, a little bit before that.
Hey, Marquise, you on here because I wanted to address you.
Call that nigga Marquise or Marquise?
Yeah,
Marquise.
That was crazy, right? That was
Marquette. How you pronounce your name, brother?
Marquett.
Marquette. No disrespect. I'm Muslim too.
Okay.
How you brothers doing? I'm not in disagreement. I'm just want to reply to a couple of the responses. The first brother that came in, well, the guy that was in the car. Give me a little bit to relay my message.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I watched this whole thing live. So what made me reply? A lot of people were saying, Corey disrespected him by saying, "Kiss my ass" or whatever. Now, I'm 39. We grew up saying that. It's like when I used to be, I use that to myself. If I gotta go get this job, I'm kissing a little ass to get by. It's a kind of a general, it's a kind of a general thing. It's a kind of a.
What are you from the Northeast? You from like Jersey, New York, Philly area?
Yeah, right. Exactly. So as men, once you tell another man his mouth is on somebody's penis, that's straight violation.
Thank you.
Understand? You understand? Hold on, Empirical. I gotta get to you because you came into the camera with a dog. Men don't move like that. That's all I'm saying. with a miniature poodle at that.
It ain't no poodle. It's a Zolo. Look it up, brother. Fuck out of here, poodle. Don't disrespect B-boy.
So, my brother, you basically, you said it that, that's what a man as Corey Holcomb do. You have to control some. I don't know how you explained it. Control their behavior. That's how a mature man handles another man. Now, the young brother, the 28-year-old, he redeemed himself, but I do say that Anton Daniel was scared. The young man don't understand, and he got time. He's only 28. I'm 39. When you can read a man's body language, especially in conflict, he was absolutely scared. And like I said,
let me respond to you. Can I respond to you?
Hold on, just a second. I just want to
sure.
give you this little lesson.
For sure.
And that,
For sure.
and that,
you're not. I'm gonna listen to you, but you respectfully, you're not giving me no lesson. But I'm gonna go ahead and let you finish, though.
All right, respect. It takes a little bit more experience to read body language, especially when somebody's scared. Anton was moving real bitchy. You know, he's moving in conflict. He was moving like a woman, and like I said, that takes maturity and time to really realize that. And I digress.
Let me ask you a question. Do you know me?
Not at all.
Do you know where I'm from?
That's irrelevant.
It's a simple question. I was quiet when you were speaking. I'm asking you direct questions. We men, right? Do you know me?
No.
Do you know where I'm from?
Absolutely not.
Do you know anything that I've been through or anything that I've seen in my life?
But I have more experience than you.
I didn't ask you that. I asked you a simple question. You're not answering the question.
No.
All right, let me ask you another question. How old was Fred Hampton when he was one of the main people in the Black Panther Party?
He was very young. I forget.
I didn't ask you that. I asked you how old he was. Do you know?
I don't know.
He was 19 years old. You should know that. He was 19. You should know that because since you older than me. How old was Tupac when he passed away?
But it's out of context.
I didn't ask you that. How old was Tupac when he passed away?
22, 20.
He was 25. You should know that because that was your generation and you're older than me. I'm gonna ask you another question. How old do you think I am? Or no, not how old do you think I am? How old do you think Martin Luther King was when he led the Montgomery bus boycott?
I don't know.
You should know that. You older than me. He was 26 years old. So let's not talk about age, maturity, intelligence, none of that. You don't know me. You don't know where I'm from or any of that. And those are the people that's from your generation that you should know because you're older than me, mister. I have more maturity. You don't know me. So I think that a lot of things that people in your generation do, not all of y'all. It's the difference between OGs and old niggas that just like to talk. And I think that y'all try to wiggle y'all way in to try to talk to somebody that's younger than y'all, and y'all make an assumption because you just don't like what I'm saying and you disagree. And I think it's very disrespectful that y'all generation does that when y'all are the same people who revere y'all own generation that was young and people that was doing things that's way more important than us reacting to Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels conversation. Fred Hampton was 19 doing stuff that none of us could even think of. So let's not talk about age and how that equates to maturity, intelligence, or any of that, because you don't know me and I don't know you. So I'm asking you these questions to give you a lesson, and that's all I gotta say.
Okay, can I respond to that?
Absolutely.
I mean, you know, I expect that from a young fiery brother like you, because I was 28 and I was exactly like that.
No, you wasn't. You wasn't exactly like that. You wasn't exactly like that. You didn't even know who Fred Hampton, how old he was. You didn't even know he wasn't like that. You don't know me, bro. We just already established that you can't say what you was exactly like because you don't know me. We've already established that. So you're making a delusional point right now because you don't know me.
Let me reply.
You can reply, but you need to reply with facts. We've already established that you don't know me, so you cannot make a comparison to say I was like you. You don't know me. I don't know you. I haven't made a judgment on you.
You didn't even let me talk and let me finish explaining.
No. I definitely let you talk, but you need to talk and be clear and factual with your saying.
That's an experience.
No. It's because I speak in facts. Women babble and talk and just say things. We've already established about 45 seconds to a minute ago that you don't know me. We've already both agreed to that. So you can't make a full claim point to say you were exactly like me when you don't know me. You don't know me, brother. So you can't make that point. You can say anything, but don't make a claim and establish a point when you don't know me. That's all I'm asking. Give me that respect because I'm gonna give you that respect because I haven't made no claim on you. I'm just going off of your behavior.
The respect is mutual. Now, from an older man like me, from an OG like me, we got to, I think Imperial kind of agree with me. There are things that we can look at and reference to you, whether we know you exactly or not. This is just knowledge. This is just,
bro. Don't throw me in your bullshit. I don't know you, bro.
Exactly. Thank you, OG. That's an OG right there. Exactly. Thank you,
bro. And like I said, I want to see your animal. All right, because you need to do your homework, brother. This is not no damn poodle. Fuck out of here. You better recognize. I'll be seeing you at the Marquette's next boxing match. Fuck around. The time it is. Fuck around.
Yes, sir.
Because I like to bang out that part. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Get it right. Get it right. Yeah, age don't bring intelligence. You got to remember that.
It do bring wisdom.
Dudes be thinking.
No, experience. No. That's where you got it wrong at. No, it doesn't.
That's not the case all the time.
Bring wisdom and experience.
No, it doesn't. That's where you're incorrect.
Sometimes there's a bunch of old dumb motherfuckers.
That's where you
real quick, gentlemen. Hannibal.
Yeah, but
I'm
if y'all let
curious,
me finish
what was your
explaining,
comment?
but y'all not gonna let me finish explaining.
Okay, I yield the floor to you, Hannibal. Go ahead.
No, I was, I was trying to explain to the young man, especially a lot of those talking points about, like I said, I was there before. They those are reactionary things. Their ages. It's not really relevant to anything. It's not really relevant.
Can I explain to you how it's relevant?
Well, go ahead.
You just said it. You just made a point. You just made a point, and you said that age is a correlation to wisdom or experience and knowledge. And I gave you three different. Right. So, but you don't know me, right? So we've already established that. So you can't say me and you. I don't know you. I don't even know you. I've never seen you a day in my life. I don't know you. So there is no me and you.
You think I don't know that?
Clearly, you don't. I've had to establish that because you were speaking like you know me.
This is too immature for me. It's too immature.
Yeah, but you brought me up. I wasn't responding to you. This is the truth. This is what's happening right now. You don't like the fact that you couldn't answer simple questions. You don't like the fact that I sound way more knowledgeable, intelligent, and more wise than you. So instead of you just taking your L as a man, you would rather try to continue to come at me and speak about age and make this assumption. Because what a real OG is, was somebody who can sit there and disagree with somebody, is somebody like Imperial. I'm sure he's twice my age, but regardless of the fact that me and him may disagree, he ain't saying nothing to me disrespectfully. He didn't bring up my age, which had nothing to do with the conversation, because we all know, anybody with a logical brain understands that age does not bring wisdom. Experience brings wisdom. You have people that are 30 that have done way more for their own children, their own families, that are way more intelligent and more wise than people twice their age. You got a lot of dummies that's in their 40s and 50s and 60s that's just out here living. We talk about it all day long, especially Marquett. So miss me with the age and you don't know anything, because what you haven't done is tell me what I was wrong at. You haven't told me anything that I said that was incorrect. You're just making personal attacks like a woman. Respectfully.
I hate what you're saying, but I totally don't agree with you.
Yeah,
I don't expect you to agree, because I think
about that dog. Let me tell you, I'm highly allergic to animals. My kid's mom passed of cancer. Okay, so I had to get rid of the family pet. So that's why I got that dog that got no hair on him. Okay. All that you like a girl and all. If you was in my face, we would be fighting, brother. You know why? Because certain things you just don't say.
Yeah, but if I was in your face,
that's just like homeboy saying. Telling Corey that it's certain things you just don't do, especially when you don't know the person like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but if I was in your face, you wouldn't have brought it in the camera. So
what?
No, but it's not the fact.
What?
That's the point.
You're missing the point. You're missing the point, man. Loose lips will sink ships. Don't write that check your ass can't cash.
Both of them that they didn't appreciate. Appearing didn't appreciate the way you make comments about his dog.
Right. Well,
what's your name again, boss man? At the bottom.
My name Anthony, but I go by Ant.
So Anthony didn't like the fact that you brought his age and talk about you going to teach him or give him some wisdom, when it's like he didn't say nothing to you, but the fact that you would say something to both of them, that triggered them. That's what.
Right. But that goes back to, see. That's why the brother put the dog down, from my comment. It's just like I said, I'm gonna just hold back from what I'm gonna say, because things
I think that's smart.
That things are very sensitive.
I think that's mature of you. Shout out to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, ain't nothing girly over here, homeboy. You know that. Yeah. I just love my kids, that part. Right? All of that, holding a dog and all that. I never had a dog in my anyway. We ain't go. But yeah, let's get back on that, man. Like I said, I think Corey played himself, man. He should have definitely went outside. But I hear what you're saying though, brother. Like I said, each his own.
I got money for all this. Whatever.
I got money too. Don't nobody give a fuck about that shit.
Hey,
it's just not respect.
I ain't falling for that. I ain't falling.
He got
get out the way. Don't get in the way of two niggas. Let me
Like, on God, that was great advice, low key.
tell you something, homie. I ain't got to go out back right now because we got to go out back to lead this motherfucker. But
Look
I'm
at him,
saying
look
that
at him.
dick sucking shit, watch
Yeah.
that. That's all I'm saying. And if I don't say it how you like
If you want to
okay,
get back to the
but
conversation,
don't-
we can get back to the conversation.
But just know,
I'm not
ain't
listening
no
to none of
dick
that
suckers
shit,
up
bro.
here, nigga.
I'm not listening to none of that shit. If you want to get back to the conversation,
Long as you
we can
know.
get back to the conversation.
Long as you know.
Bro, you not,
Because that ain't
you
nothing-
not that tough.
But you told him you to respect him if he told you in a manner where it's like, okay, if you tell me you don't appreciate that, I'm gonna respect you. Now you want to change the subject. That don't make sense. That's all I'm saying.
They both are scary, man.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's just, two old niggas that, start huffing and puffing a little bit, but neither of them really wanted to take their old ass outside and see what it do. I think it was relatively a simple situation that didn't have to happen, because at the end of the day, when you engage people, you should engage with respect. And I observed consistently throughout the conversation. I was actually shocked at Anton. I don't watch a lot of his content, but I never knew him to be a vulgar guy. And he just kept cursing throughout the conversation. And it seems like, and I don't know if it's because at the very beginning he said I was on, somebody issues.
That Japanese Wi-Fi.
It was at the very beginning of the conversation. As soon as Anton came on, he said, I was on time. So it sounds like maybe Corey had him waiting at the studio, and maybe that kind of agitated him. But a lot of that didn't have to happen, and it could have been solved with maturity. Go ahead.
No, I think he had a female with them, because you heard Corey when he started, blabbing out, which was another sucker move, because Anton's married, I heard, because my lady watches him. But anyway, you don't do that. Me and you can't argue, and I'm like, yo, you got a girl here with you, and you married. You know what I mean? That's called dry snitching. You know what I mean? That's
yeah. If he's your man, but the truth is, if he really liked that, like, you're gonna live how you live as a boss. Like, your old lady ain't running your program. So whether you got a chick with you or you got 2-3 of them chicks with you, that's how you live, and you're gonna get it how you live. So it shouldn't have been a situation of him putting it out there, because you're a grown man. You shouldn't be sneaking around. Do what you do.
Agreed.
I mean, he had a chick with him when I met him. I think it was his wife. I can't recall if he introduced Shorty as his wife or not. I don't recall. Anton.
He's talking about Anton.
Oh, Anton. Okay.
Yeah.
And Corey was because it's more to the situation, but Corey ended up calling out the woman. He called her out of her name, called her all type of B's and O's, and
crazy. Yeah, that was
crazy. And for me, I just feel like that's one of the weakest things you can do. If somebody is a man, if somebody is in your presence, and as a man, you're supposed to be a protector. So I would never allow no man to disrespect any woman that I'm with. Because if I'm around you and we at a platform like that where I'm networking, clearly you're someone of an importance to me. You're not just some little side joint where I'm just pulling up to Burger King and getting a Whopper. We're at some place where you've worked your way up to get to the established place where I trust you around other people because you're a representation of me. So the fact that he let any man, disrespect a woman he was with, wife or not, I just think it's crazy. And he just walked off and didn't do nothing. I just think that was wild.
Yeah, but then he left room for him to talk crap later. Because I seen a thing earlier where Antoine was just going in on Corey, and that's why I said Corey should have did something. Because when you do that, when you're in situations with people like that and you leave room, they're gonna go home and make their own narrative of it, and that's basically what Antoine's doing now.
Oh, that's a guarantee, but that's the business, right? That they're in the business of talking, so of course they got to talk about it. And this is the best time. It's going to do numbers, so it's good for business. I can't hate that at all. I mean, at the end of the day, it worked out for everybody involved. Yeah, exactly. It worked out for everybody involved, including us reacting. The only thing is that in terms of displaying conflict resolution, that's what we didn't see. We didn't see how you conduct yourselves properly as men, because, we all sometimes get carried away, even myself. Like, if I would have, to be honest with you, I would have never said anything like that. That's really far out. But if I did, it would have dawned on me straight away, like, damn, that was crazy. I'm like, I apologize to you. And I think that because of these nerds on the internet, people think that you cannot apologize while being in a strong position. Like, you can't apologize from a position of strength, control, masculinity. It's okay to say, hey, man, that was my fault. Me, I'm the first person to apologize to somebody out in the world. Like, if I bump into somebody, like, oh, man, you straight my fault, man. Because I don't want a conflict. I don't want a conflict. I'm well off. You heard me? I'm trying to enjoy my life. You dig? I'm trying to go do boss stuff. I don't have time to get into issues with knuckleheads. So I'm trying to keep it all peace and peachy. And so I think that if Anton would have displayed less ego and said, you know what? I apologize. I wasn't even trying to say all of that. Because Corey's issue was not you disagree with me. It's you're accusing me of sexually deviant behaviors. Like you're putting sexually deviant language on me. And I am certain that Anton was not trying to suggest that this fellow was a weirdo. And so all Anton had to do was say, I shouldn't have said that, which is a fact. He shouldn't have said that. And you can look at the first piece, which was, well, you said he kissed ass. Well, that's kind of a figure of speech. That's a figure of speech. Whereas you suck is not really a figure of speech. It's an insult. Both of them are tasteless. And I think that's better. It's better that we communicate without cursing and we communicate respectfully, even to people we disagree with. I think they did a good job, though, because at the end of the day, why did they come together? For the money. And they ran up the bag. I yield the floor.
I think in that situation, it's kind of hard to say that Corey wasn't being respectful, because if you paid attention, most of the time it was Anton that had the aggression. Like there was times when Corey tried to call him my brother or tried to agree with him, and immediately he just fired on him for no reason. So I'm thinking it's kind of hard for Corey and him to come to a consensus when it's like, for whatever reason, even when he's agreeing with you, you just have some kind of like aggression, which doesn't make any sense. Like he didn't disrespect you, he didn't call you out your name, and even if he disagreed with you, he didn't say it in a manner to where there was some aggression towards it. It's like, but when Anton speaks, it's like it's as if he had time for Corey at that moment. But when it came time to it, he didn't want to, handle business. So that's how I look at it.
I will say this too. I noticed just a slight pushback. Not to say I disagree with you, but I do think when Corey raised his voice, right? If we're men and we're having a conversation, when you start to raise your voice, I'm going to take that as you're looking for a challenge at that point, because men don't have to scream and yell to get our point across. So I will say, when Corey started to raise his voice, which he raised his voice first, and I'm not saying it was for no reason. I'm not saying that Anton wasn't disrespectful, but when you start raising your voice at that point, again, I'm going to assume that you are now preparing for something in the future, which is going to make me now make my senses go and like, okay, I need to make sure that I'm preparing for war, because it looks like you getting to that point too. I will say that.
No, that's true. But like, if me and you are having a conversation and you see me throwing jabs at you, eventually you're gonna take notice of that, which Corey did. True. And as soon as Corey raised his voice, he only raised his voice to let him know, hey, you're going to calm down, because why am I throwing little jabs at you, which it doesn't seem like he's trying to be aggressive, but he's putting it as, okay, I'm going to try you. And he kept doing it. And eventually it's going to get to a point like how earlier, like how you let homie know, like, hey, you don't know me. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to talk to me as if I'm not in that position where I know certain stuff, and then you start breaking stuff down. So I think it's more so there's only a little bit of space I'm going to give you until I'm like, all right, now we have an issue. That's how I feel it.
I respect that.
For me, one of the major lessons is nip it in the bud. Like before people start thinking they Superman, catch them while they Clark Kent, turn them lights off early, because little buddy started off rip. Yeah, I was on time. It was like, if that was me in Corey's position, now one, I'm not going to be late. Absolutely not to my own damn. Absolutely not. I'm like, hey man, you know what? I apologize. I just want to let everybody know he was on time. I appreciate that. I apologize. Let's carry on with the show. And then I would have tried to catch it each time. And then if it was an issue, me personally, I don't like if it's going to be an issue, somebody going to blow up, I take care of that. I want to be the one to blow up. So I'm going to try to keep it cool. And if I see like he wants to smoke, then like, let's get after the smoke. But I don't want to go through 25 minutes of passive aggressive. I was like, God damn, this man that cursed so many damn times. Like to me, like maybe if I'm on a solo stream, I might curse. But when I'm talking to someone, I'm hyper conscious of like, I'm not trying to rub somebody the wrong way, because some things, when you turn it up, it don't get turned down. Like some people, you can't turn them down once they get turned up. And, it's just fortunate. Those are two overweight, older gentlemen, not to disrespect them, but they're two overweight, older guys. They going to cool out any damn ways. But let it have been somebody a little bit younger, that might have went left. There's no need to get the studio equipment and all the other stuff broken up over some like inability to manage your manners.
Hey, Marquette, did you see that fight they had with Aries Spears when he was up in there? Bro, they wasn't even throwing. They were throwing elbows.
Yeah, if I recall correctly, I want to say that Aries said something and got fired on by Zoe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Aries a New York cat, right? And I always say these New York niggas, like they just too mouthy, man. Like them niggas need they too mouthy.
Hey,
That's why I
don't do
wasn't
that, bro. I'm from the
surprised.
Bronx. Don't be doing that.
That listen, this how y'all are.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
It's real though.
Wait, hold on. What you trying to say? We all mouth?
Y'all are mouthy.
No,
I'm not saying y'all not with the action. Y'all with the action, but it just take too long. Like you guys have a tolerance.
Yeah, like I think Marquett made a good point when he was speaking about y'all are so condensed, so y'all have a lot of interaction with each other no matter what. Like I'm from the Midwest, and from the Midwest, like if it's I'm not finna do all that talking with you. You trying to work about it? No, okay then. So let's just leave it at that. But like y'all will, not all of y'all, because you got some New York people that's really about that. But it gets to a point where I'm not about to sit and keep letting you talking about my shoes and talking about my clothes and talking about like what do you want to do? Why are we talking about all this miscellaneous nonsense? Are we going to get physical or not? And a lot of New York dudes, they're very mouthy like women. Like they go back and forth with women. Like I don't know. I don't know.
That's
I don't
why
know what it
I'm
is.
on the West Coast, Brentwood. What?
You Puerto Rican?
Yeah.
Okay,
What?
yeah. I said, are you Puerto Rican?
How dare you? Don't disrespect me like that. I'm black. Man. Come on now. Hey, my mother's white, my father's black. I'm black. Don't get it twisted, all right?
Hey, listen to me though.
Growing up, yeah, they will always think I'm Cuban or Dominican or something crazy.
Come on,
shit.
man. Come on.
Half of New York dudes.
Yeah. So but no, yeah, you know, it's craziness all over. But yeah, it's definitely good on the West Coast.
Oh yeah, weather's better, all of that. Florida and LA, those are two paradises. Gentlemen, you guys got any closing remarks before we get out of here?
Yeah, I gotta get going.
Man, I just
much
want to
love to
say,
everybody. Hey, peace to the Saints, man. I like what you guys are doing, man. Keep up the good work, man.
Appreciate you. Peace to the Saints.
Yeah, peace to the Saints. That's all I got to say. Much love to you, Marquett.
Yeah, I appreciate you for this opportunity.
Appreciate you. And shout out to
Wait,
young
let me.
guys, man. Go ahead.
I don't know if I can hear me. Is there a way that I can I can go watch this back? Will this be online or somewhere, or like on your website?
Yeah, so we're gonna obviously take it down.
I can't hear.
And then it's gonna go back up. Okay, you have to listen to this on a replay. It's gonna go back up on a channel called Marquett for Business or Marquett on Business.
I can't hear. I'm gonna drop down. I think my stuff is messed up, but I appreciate you letting me up, Marquett.
Yeah. All right, for sure. All right, y'all. Peace to the Saints.
Peace to the Saints.